Good afternoon, Pewter Report readers, viewers, and listeners, and welcome to this week's Pewter Game Day show. We have a great matchup. Week 3, the Bucs are out there at Raymond James Stadium for the home opener, rocking those fresh white creamsicle throwbacks, and we're going to be breaking down today's game. For the Bucs, it's the next man up on the injury front, and for Pewter Report, Matt Matera's at the game today. So I'm your host, Adam Slavon, and joined with me is fellow Pewter reporter, first round pick, Daniel Morales. Really excited to get into this game. And Daniel, how are you doing this afternoon? How are you feeling heading into this game?
Man, I'm really excited. This is the home opener. Buccaneers have been on the road week number 1 in Atlanta, on the road in Houston week number 2. Finally, we get the home opener. And it's a beautiful white creamsicle game. This is going to be amazing. Really fun to watch. Beautiful football on the football field. Hopefully, Buccaneers come out 3-0, start 3-0 for the first time since 2005. I'm really excited.
Yeah, that was 20 years ago, the 30th anniversary. So it's been a while since they've gotten out to such a hot start. And it's going to be hot out there at Tampa Bay today. So the Bucs have the advantage. They're wearing white uniforms. The Jets are rocking their green throwbacks. And I just want to give a big shout out to all the Pewter people in the chat. We got Shaggy. It's game day. Yes, it is.
Q44.
Carl here.
Yeah.
Yep. Let's go Bucs. Cuse. Let's roll. AJ. Hey, Tampa Bay. The Bucs are going to shine. And we got a super chat from Bucs Basement. Thank you. Defense needs to start quick. Number 4, Chase McLaughlin needs to wake up. Yeah, with the Falcons this week releasing Younghoe Koo, I mean, no kicker is really safe in the NFL, and your one job is to make sure that you make every single kick. So he really needs to come out. Chase Bank needs to be open on a Sunday, and we'll see if that happens.
Yeah, we know he got hit week number 1 on the leg, but Todd Bowles said that wasn't a problem for him. So it's really mental with Chase McLaughlin. I'm hoping this week he bounces back. I like the fact that they didn't bring in a tryout kicker this week, so maybe that would have gotten more into his head. You know, they continue to remain loyal to Chase McLaughlin. I think that's the right move, but he has to be able to show them that they're making the right move by trusting him and going out there on the football field and making your kicks. You know, the Buccaneers could have had 7 more points throughout the first 2 weeks if it wasn't for Chase McLaughlin's missed kicks.
Yeah, and they really can't afford it this time around. I mean, both teams are dealing with injuries. The Jets are rocking with 36-year-old backup quarterback Tyrod Taylor. And an interesting twist, 7 years ago, Daniel, it was Baker Mayfield who overtook Tyrod for the Browns, and they went up against the New York Jets, going up against Todd Bowles. And so Todd Bowles, this is his first regular season game up against his former team. It only adds to the intrigue here. And then also Hassan Reddick, his revenge tour in 2025. He's going up against New York, maybe looking to get a couple sacks.
Yeah, they have the right tackle Membu, who has played tremendous throughout the first 2 weeks, especially week number 1 going up against TJ Watt, allowed 0 pressures. Really excited to see that. But Hassan Reddick, the veteran, can he get to Tyrod Taylor? Can he get to the quarterback, sack the quarterback, create really good pressure throughout the entire game? That's something we're going to watch. I'm excited for this game, Matt. I'm sorry, Adam, not Matt.
yeah, used to Matt. Mark here in the chat asked where Matt's at, and having grown up in New York as a Jets fan, he's no longer a Jets fan, but he's watching the game today. And so, yeah, really excited to be taking over Pewter Game Day. It's been a little bit, and it's always fun. This is different than a podcast. We can have fun with it, react, and really share our insight as the game goes on.
Yeah, man, we've had some exciting reactions. You know, these have been the first 2 weeks, really interesting games, nail-biter games coming down to a final few seconds. That Younghoe Koo missed field goal the first week, our reaction was wild. Last week, when the Buccaneers were able to march down the field, cap off that game with your Rashad White run up the middle. You know, also real quick, beautiful play calling by Josh Brizard. I think he took a tremendous step forward from week number 1 to week number 2. The Buccaneers looked more in rhythm. Baker Mayfield especially, too. He had a few passes in week number 1 that were a little bit behind his receivers. We know he missed Kate Otten down the field, that miscommunication pass. But you know, I think he cleaned that up in week number 2. And that we know there's a lot of injuries this week, but I'm excited to see how Josh Brizard does with all these injuries. Does he continue to play call at the level that he's been doing, at least last week, man? I'm really excited to see this entire game, how it plays out. And I'm excited that the Buccaneers are finally back in Tampa, man. I'm sure the players love that, too.
Yeah, and looking at the offense today, you kind of wonder all the adjustments. In just a few moments, we're going to see what that offensive line looks like. They elevated Tyler McClellan from the practice squad. They signed Dan Feeney, Dirty Dan with the mullet. See if he plays at all, and really just what this offensive line looks like. Because I think this game, Daniel, is going to come down to the run game, really for both sides of the football. Each team has a top 10 rushing offense, but for Tampa Bay, they have a top 5 run defense. And Vita Vea, even without Kalijah Kancey, how big of an impact he will have, really just plugging up rushing lanes and stopping Breece Hall.
I completely agree. If you got kickoff here, the New York Jets going to get the ball first. But last week, the New York Jets allowed 224 yards on the ground. Insane. James Cook, he ran for 132 yards.
He was cooking.
Yeah, they couldn't stop him. They couldn't tackle him. They couldn't get him down. Now, Quinn Williams says that they're never going to allow that to happen again, a rushing game like that. But if I'm Josh Brizard, I agree with you, Matt. I'm sorry, Adam. He should attack the run defense of the New York Jets. Let's see if he does that here in this game.
Yeah, we're going to see how Tyrod Taylor and the Jets offense attack the Bucs defense here. First play of the game, play action. Rolling to his left. Oh, he's almost taken down. He scrambles. Yeah, he picks up about 6-7 yards there. He's still a mobile quarterback. He might be 36 years old, but he can still move around when he needs to.
So he also got no reps throughout the training camp or the preseason because he was recovering from a knee surgery. So he's out there in a brand new offense. The Tanner Instring is the new offensive coordinator. And just like Josh Brizard, this is third time ever calling plays at the NFL level. So I want to see how both these guys, they're both going up against defensive-minded head coaches. And Aaron Glenn doesn't want to be seen as a defensive-minded head coach. He wants to be seen as a true overall coach that could coach all three phases of this football team. But let's be honest, he is a defensive-minded head coach.
Yes, he is. The Jets pick up the first down there. Tyrod gets another little dink and dunk pass over to the right sideline. So Greg Gaines is getting the start at defensive tackle in place of Kalijah Kancey, but I'd also expect Elijah Roberts to kind of rotate in there as well.
I think you're going to see Tyrod Taylor spread the ball a little bit more than Justin Fields has been able to do throughout the first 2 weeks. With Justin Fields, they were running a lot of RPOs, a lot of QB keeps. I think that's the type of offense you need to run with Justin Fields. But I think they can open up a little bit more of the playbook here with Tyrod Taylor.
The first rush of the day to Breece Hall is stopped. Tackle for loss. Servassier Dennis, Yaya Diaby. They're there saying hello to Breece Hall.
Yaya Diaby, as our Scott Reynolds says.
Yeah.
Love all the engagement so far here in the chat. Mark, he said, looking forward to your coverage. Thank you, buddy.
Flash Gordon's still waking up. You got to wake up and get into this game here.
Louis says, my guy Louis, I'm picking Rachaad White to be the X factor in today's game. I agree. The running game is going to be big this game.
Ooh. Logan Hall wrapped up Tyrod Taylor here. There was a flag thrown.
Yeah.
I think that.
Is that a horse collar? Possibly. I couldn't really tell there, but where he placed that hand. I think the Jets, I've never really liked their uniforms. I think they have an underrated uniform. I like the white face mask with the green tint. I like as a helmet. I like that look.
Looks like the call is on the Bucs defense. Todd Bowles is not a happy camper. Let's look at the replay. Yeah, that was a horse collar.
Yeah, Logan Hall, he gets there,
but he had his hand on the horse collar, but he didn't really pull him down with it. So I don't know.
Yeah, I agree there. It wasn't a full grab and yank.
We don't want ticky-tack calls.
Yeah.
That does put him past midfield, past the old Bucko Bruce helmet. First and 10 here from about the 44. Garrett Wilson in motion. Tyrod's rolling to the right. Again, can't find anybody. But he finds Jacob Parrish right at the line of scrimmage, brings him down.
Yep, there we go. Impressive rookie so far. And on draft night, they said this is a rookie. He's a little bit shorter than the traditional prototype Todd Bowles cornerback. But they said, he can play inside, can play outside. They like his physicality. They like his versatility. He's an exciting young rookie to watch for this football team as they continue to grow throughout the entire season. I want to see, how does he grow? We got also Benjamin Morrison came back last week. Let's see how many reps he gets in today's game.
Yeah. On second down here, Breece Hall's run. Oh, no, sorry, I looked like Braylon Allen. It's going to set up a third and short. We're going to see what New York's offense can do. They don't really have many options in the passing game. It's really the Garrett Wilson show and a lot of practice squad options.
Throughout the first 2 weeks, the two quarterbacks, Justin Fields and Tyrod Taylor, have thrown 44 total passes. 17 have gone to Garrett Wilson. So that's their main target. Before the season, Aaron Glenn said their plan is get Garrett Wilson the ball as many times as it possibly can. And they've done that with the first 2 weeks. And I look for them to continue to do that this week.
Yeah, Tyrod just took a hit, but he completed the pass up the middle to Garrett Wilson for the first down. Zion McCollum was playing tight coverage there. He took an absolute shot from Tweez. They sent him on a blitz.
Yeah.
But that's what you're going to see out of Tyrod Taylor in this one. It's just the veteran poise, able to make those kind of throws.
Yeah, Aaron Smith, the rookie wide receiver for the New York Jets, was talking about, this week in practice, Tyrod Taylor's been leading. Obviously, he's the quarterback one this week with Justin Fields out with concussion, but he's brought a lot of veteran leadership. Of course, he's been coaching up a lot, make sure he's in the right places where he needs to be in certain times. But he also says he brings a sense of calm to the offense. And, I think that's really going to help out these players this week. Hopefully, it doesn't result in a, New York Jets a win here. But I think he's going to run the offense a lot better than Justin Fields has been able to for the first 2 weeks of the season.
Yeah, he's always been a very impressive game managing quarterback.
Yeah.
Jets here, 2nd and 9. Taylor drops back. Incompletion. Had Levante in coverage. There's a flag. Levante saying, "What the heck, man? What you calling me for?"
His 201st start in the National Football League, all with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, man. He's closer to the end of his career than he is to the beginning, of course, and he's just been a tremendous player for the Buccaneers, and he's a future Hall of Famer, in my opinion.
So he was called for pass interference. I mean, does it look like the chat's really agreeing with us? This is crazy. The refs are marching them down the field. Dan in Arizona, crappy start. Yeah, another 1st and 10 here. From the 26. Levante, he almost had the sack. Tarad's doing just enough, but the Bucs pass rush needs to get home and needs to bring him down.
Yeah, and that was a completion there to Breece Hall. And if you eliminate Garrett Wilson from the game, and you said, they have a lot of they don't have a true wide receiver too. Most of their guys are practice squad options or wide receiver 4s out there. Who's going to be that next main target? It's going to be Breece Hall in the backfield. So
yes,
this is going to be big on Savassi Dennis, who's been struggling throughout the first 2 weeks, had it up and down performances there. But also, it's going to be big on Levante David. They're going to dump it down to Breece Hall. You got to be able to stop him because he has a home run threat ability that you can't let him break free. You got to make sure you take him.
Braylon Allen marches for the 1st down. There is another flag on the field. We'll see what the call is. A lot of flags here early on. False start on the offense. It's going to set him back a little bit.
Aaron Glenn not
two almost sacks. Pressures are just as good, right? Not when they don't result in lost yardage, and that's what you want to do.
Why is our Geist85 says, why is our defense bad in the start every game? I've noticed that too. It's a little bit of a pattern here. The first 15 plays are scripted around the first drive, but after that, it seems like they're able to make adjustments. They see what the opposing offense they would do, and they're able to minimize their effect. But let's see, is that the same thing today? The Jets so far, with the help of penalties, have been able to march down this field so far. But can the Buccaneers play bend but don't break defense? Can they at least hold them to a field goal here, or hold them to only 3 points, or somehow get a turnover? We haven't seen a turnover from this defense yet. Will this drive bring the first turnover for the defense?
Yes. We will see. Looks like a 3rd down here. So they are putting up a little bit of a stand.
Yep.
See if they can complete it.
3rd and 4. Big 3rd down play here. Tampa crowd looks like they're getting very loud. One of the perks of playing at home.
Taylor lobs it down the right sideline to Garrett Wilson, but Zion McCollum, he does a seatbelt. He locked him up, forced to stop and hey, 3 points is better than 7 at this point. The Jets are going to try to put some points on the board here, but overall, with what happened with the flags, I mean, you would like to see 0 points, but 3 points isn't the worst result.
Very good coverage there by Zion McCollum, man-to-man, locking down his guy. Shades of Darrelle Revis. He would put guys on an island, lock them down there on that one play. Looked fantastic. Look, Nick Folk, the former Tampa Bay Buccaneers kicker back in 2017, is going to be able to make this kick here.
The 41-year-old knocks it through from 38 yards out. It's going to make it Jets 3, Bucs 0 with just under 9 minutes left in the first quarter. We're going to put up a little ticker here so you can follow along.
Again, bend but don't break defense there. Only give up 3 points. That's a lot better than giving up a touchdown. Let's see what Baker Mayfield, Josh Brizard can they do? What can they do? Can go down the field? Can they respond with points on the board? We will see. But how do you guys feel right now in the chat?
Yeah, please let us know. And Daniel, how do you feel about this Bucs offense heading in? So obviously you want to have a balanced attack. You don't want to make it one-dimensional, but there are some adjustments. We're going to see just in a moment what the offensive line looks like. What are you hoping to see here?
With this banged up, makeshift of offensive line, you said at the beginning of broadcast, I want to see them rely heavily on the run game, but of course it can't be one-dimensional because then they can stop you, okay? But I'd rather have, success on the ground and rely on the run game. All three of the running backs, too. Last week it was just Bucky Irving, Rashad White. Bucky Irving had 71 yards on the ground. Rashad White had 65, had the touchdown to close off the game. But I want to see Sean Tucker get some action. I'm sure Hughes 44 wants to see Sean Tucker in the game as well, making an impact. But yeah, if I wouldn't want my quarterback throwing 35, 40 passes, with an offensive line that's really, really banged up and you're moving guys around. But right guard, who's going to be playing at right guard? Is it Charlie Heck at right tackle as well, or is it Ben Chikuma? Let's see.
Yeah. Dan in Arizona, have you guys perfectly synchronized with your YouTube broadcast. Thank you for that. Hopefully you're enjoying the insights so far. Looking at some more comments here. Scott Federico. OMG, I'm ready to jump off my balcony reading all the negative comments. Worst 0-2 team. Trash. Sit David. Give me a break, guys. Go Bucs. It's still early out there. There were some missed opportunities, especially for the Bucs defense. You want to see them get out to a hot start, but they still have so much of the game left. And again, it was that bend, not break. They didn't give up a touchdown. And overall, I mean, Zion, when it mattered on that 3rd and 4 there, he played tight coverage on Garrett Wilson.
Of course, and Hughes 44 says, I'm a Tuckaholic. He wants to see Sean Tucker out there on the football field. Let's see here. Louis, Frozen Fire Podcast says, the Buccaneers definitely need to get points on the board here. I expect the Jets to bring the pressure. So good thing for this makeshift offensive line in Baker Mayfield. Jermaine Johnson, one of their top edge rushers, is not going to be out here in the Chiefs game.
Yes.
Active. They still have Will McDonald, who had 10.5 sacks last year, his breakout performance. But at least one of those guys, you get a little bit of help this week with one of those guys being out.
Yeah. Maybe putting some tight end coverage on there with one of the tackles, trying to help out just a little bit.
Yep.
Here the Jets are kicking it back to the Bucs. They have Sean Tucker on the return. A little bit past the 30. About the 33.
And Emeka Buka was dealing with the hip and groin injury this week. And we have kind of conflicting reports. Ian Rappaport says that, there's going to be no limitations on him. But they have Adam Schefter saying that he might be on a pitch count here. His snap's going to be monitored. All depends on how he feels. So I want to see how does that play out. Because, yes, 3 touchdowns so far, throughout his 2025 campaign, the first 2 weeks. And he's been a very productive wide receiver. He is worth the first-round pick so far that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers set on him.
That and then some.
Yep.
All right, let's see what this offensive line is looking like here. So you have left tackle Barton, left guard. It looked like 79. Yeah, Elijah Klein.
Yeah,
Ben Bredesen at center. Luke Haggard at right guard. And Charlie Heck at right tackle.
Okay, yep. So they go, left guard, Elijah Klein. Michael Jordan.
Which is interesting because he was primarily a right guard during his time at UTEP, kind of what the Bucs drafted him as, but also he reshaped his body over the offseason, has that versatility, and it probably makes Luke Haggard, who also played, I think, right tackle, a little bit more comfortable staying on that right side. And then when you also look at it, you have kind of a veteran in Barton, Klein, who's unproven. You have a veteran in Bredesen, unproven. And then Charlie Heck, I mean, he has some experience. You're not weakening one side completely by just having 2 newcomers.
Yeah, and I think possibly we can get some real positive. Buccaneers fans can finally get some real positive injury news next week. There's a chance that Tristan Wirfs might return back to the lineup. We'll see what happens, but you're definitely going to want Tristan Wirfs back when you're going up against these reigning Super Bowl champions, the Philadelphia Eagles, and all those aggressive Georgia Bulldogs they have on that defense.
Just to go over the first 2 offensive plays here, Bucky Irving had a 4-yard run, and then he was stopped for no gain, but Quinnen Williams was called for a face mask, so that's 15 yards, moves them up just a little bit here.
Big play right there by Bucky Irving. Gets about an 8-9 yard gain, but we do have a penalty. It's going to be holding on the offensive line, so that backs up the Buccaneers on a very positive play there.
Actually, it looks like Ryan Miller was called for holding.
Ryan Miller. Yep.
Yeah. So again, like so many penalties, already 2 on this drive, and it just started. Hopefully that does not kill the drive.
No Tony Adams out there. They have the rookie Malachi Moore also. Again, no Jermaine Johnson. That's a big help to Charlie Heck in that offensive line. Now have to go up against him.
1st and 18. Baker dumps it off to Bucky Irving. Hopefully he's trying to make a wiggle. He does. He cuts back to the left. He picks up that 1st down. He's heading all the way down to about the 30. Huge catch and run there.
This looks so far just like last week. James Cook, even Josh Allen at times they would break free. A lot of missed tackles. These guys getting their ankles broken for the New York Jets defense.
Whew.
And man.
As Chris Berman would say, whoop! He made about 6 guys miss there.
Wow.
That was a great play. Back to Bucky. I think it's a few more yards.
Yeah, about 3-4 yard gain there. Keep pushing a little more.
I'm sure Ray J is going loud right now with the Bucky chants. Q's 44, Bucky, JB. And as Marty says, Bucky's a man. Can't argue with that.
Man, yeah. We're so lucky to have Bucky here, Engels says.
Abuka, man, he got laid out. Baker threw to the right. That was a loss of about 3 yards.
It's going to be a third and long here, very long. What do you call her, Adam? A little screen play? You're trying to go deep down the field. What do you do here if you're Josh Grizzard? 3rd and 9.
I'd go a little bit more intermediate. You don't want to make it too screen heavy, which it kind of looks like it is so far.
They were to sniff that one out pretty quickly as well.
Yeah.
Baker Mayfield so far 2 for 2, 23 yards.
Here he is, 3rd and 9. Dodges pressure. He rolls out a little bit. Incomplete pass. Another flag, though. Are you surprised that there's another flag?
So many flags so far in this game. Dan Glassman, flag again, crazy.
Holding offense.
Yeah. Tom OMG, he just got ran through. G's. That's Luke Haggard out there, right guard.
Making his first NFL appearance, and he gets called for a penalty. As Stan says here, 5 Bucs penalties in 9 minutes. Welcome to flag football. You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
I like that. 3rd and 19. Wow. You see Tristan Wirfs there on the sideline again. Is next week the final, the ultimately the return for Tristan Wirfs we have to see, but I'm sure the Buccaneers want him back.
He's sorely missed.
Yeah. Empty backfield, and you have Rachaad White go a little bit backwards.
It looked like it was going to be a loss of a few yards, but Rachaad White, he cuts it all the way around to the right. After the play, there was another flag.
Well, it could be a late hit on Rachaad White out of bounds here. It could be a very positive flag for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We'll see what exactly that call is.
Well, after Rachaad White gained 10 yards, that call or that play was negated as Mike Evans was called for offensive holding.
Oh, okay, no late hit.
So you got holding by 2 wide receivers, and then you got holding by the new right guard, Luke Haggard. This drive is, might be cooked.
Very sloppy football so far.
Yeah.
See Mike Evans hold. Yeah, that's an obvious hold.
Geist 85. Ridiculous. Horrible start. No, all these penalties aren't going to help because now the Bucs are faced with a 3rd and 29. On pace to be a long game.
Very long game. And a close game if they keep doing like this.
Yeah.
Jets 0-2. They're hungry, though. What's his name? Aaron Glenn. He talked about this is not an instant coffee league. You got stacked days and you don't get success right away, but he's put on these. We got another flag real quick.
We do. Baker was airing it out to the right to Mike Evans with Sauce Gardner covering him. And then after the play, Mike, he points forward like it was a defensive pass interference. We'll see.
But Aaron Glenn was talking about this is an instant coffee league.
They just made up all the penalties.
Yeah. This is finally one in favor of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. A huge penalty on Sauce Gardner working against Mike Evans. Mike Evans has not had it easy the first few weeks. A.J. Terrell last week, Derek Stingley Jr., and now Sauce Gardner. Real heavy matchups for the first 3 weeks of the year for him.
Yeah. That flag will help out. Tampa Bay has the ball on the 25-yard line.
Engel, raise the flags, I guess. Finally something.
Yeah, awesome. Right? That's a great comment. Second and 7. Yards so far. Jets have 37, 20 by penalty. Buccaneers have 43, 39 by penalty.
The Buccaneers are now in field goal range, but again, Chase McLaughlin has been having his issues in the kicking game. So if you have to put him out there, I'm hoping that those issues are a thing of the past. Let's see. And hopefully you don't even need to put him out there. Hopefully you're able to go down the field right here and score a touchdown.
Second and 7. Another little dump off behind the line of scrimmage to Bucky Irving. Picks up a couple yards. It's going to be 3rd and short. It's like a 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5. Would you go with a run or a pass?
I think right now you got to go pass. And I want to see the tight end get more involved here. K-Dot and Payne Durham, whoever's going to be out there for this play. We haven't seen many passes to the tight ends throughout the first 2 weeks.
No.
Maybe right now is a perfect opportunity to hit if they're going to play soft zone, you hit your tight end. And if he goes in like some kind of underneath route or something, we'll see here.
Yeah, it's going to be hard for Baker to have really time to throw and like place to develop because you're dealing with so many backup offensive linemen or guys playing out of position. Here we go. We got the 3rd and 4. Baker's looking to his left. Doesn't like it. But he does find Sterling Shepard. Gets inside the 5-yard line. There is a flag after the play.
Of course. Boomer to boomer connection, though. Gets
Yeah.
up about to the 3-yard line. But what is this flag here? Holding offense.
Luke Haggard again. Second offensive holding penalty for Haggard on this first NFL drive. At some point, if it gets too bad, you might have to look to bench him and go with somebody else.
Yeah. He's going up against Quinton Williams, one of the best interior defensive linemen in this league. It's not an easy task for him, but you can't hold. You got to do whatever you can, but you cannot hold, of course. That is a drive killer. 3rd and 14 now for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Haggard is haggard, Engel says here. Rashad White in the game. He's in the backfield there.
Yep.
Trips up top for the Buccaneers wide receiver.
Mayfield facing pressure. It doesn't matter, though. He finds Mike for the first down. There's a flag. I've never seen so many flags watching
this a football game. The longest game in Tampa Bay Buccaneers history or NFL.
What is it? It's holding on the offense. Are you surprised? Wow. Graham Barton is the latest one to be called there. No way.
Graham Barton is not Graham Barton is not a left tackle in the NFL. He's an interior offensive lineman, but he's doing the best he can out there. Filling in for Tristan Wirfs, but you can't hold. You can't hold, of course.
These comments are great.
we love the chat here. It's flag football, Dan Arizona says.
Yeah. All right, 3rd and 24. This time they're just going to run it. They're going to say whatever. Get a few yards. Maybe set up a long field goal for Chase McLaughlin. Man, not the start the offense wanted to have, though. This is just very sloppy football.
Yeah. Daniel Gomez, what a mess. You're absolutely correct. It's been very
every single positive gain the Bucs offense had, you're just waiting for the flag to come after the play. Yeah. I mean, this is not how you want to start here, but a 54-yard field goal attempt for Chase McLaughlin to tie the game up. Kick is up.
This season.
And it is good. Chase McLaughlin.
There we go.
Back a little bit. The Mac is back.
Oh.
Chase is back, baby.
Very positive to see. There we go. And it wasn't an easy kick. It was a 54-yard kick that he just kicked through that goalpost. Mac is back. All right, ugly so far, but it's a tied game. It's 3-3. So
yeah,
a lot of ugly football, but at least it's tied 3-3 right now. How do you guys feel in the chat? Let us know. He's 44. Okay, keep him. He's back now. He's okay. Dan in Arizona, a positive and no flag.
Yeah. And Flash Gordon, hopefully the offensive line can settle down. I mean, you saw this kind of in the first game against the Falcons where the offensive line, for all the shuffles that they had, they were not giving Baker any time. The drives were stalling. But as the game went on, they got a little bit better. I mean, the Bucs are surely hoping that's the case this time around, that Haggard can settle in and doesn't get benched. But we'll see. Geist85 with a $2 super chat. Thank you. It's time to trade a pick for a starting offensive lineman. I mean, it's always a great thought, trying to acquire a better player. But I mean, offensive linemen, especially good ones, are very hard to come by in the NFL, and teams aren't giving them up.
Edge rushers, offensive linemen, they're not going to trade those away.
We got Virgin Boys. $1.99 super chat. Thank you. Can you guys call Scott and tell them to bench 72? I won't be making that phone call, but it might not even need to happen. He might just get benched regardless.
Cody P, what a joke. Holy cow. Where is MJ? Michael Jordan.
We got Philip here. Attaboy Chase. Grace Point. Man, it's time to at least get Wirfs back. I mean, Bucs fans, hopefully it's next week. Maybe Chris Godwin returns as well. Chris, it's going to be a long day. Stan makes a great point here. Crazy they scored any points with that many flags. I mean, when you see that many penalties, usually the drive stalls way before it did.
Every play also, you had the big pass to Sterling Shepard. That was about the 2-3 yard line, but then you had the holding penalty that negated that play. So after every positive play, like you said, there is, you're checking around. Is there a flag on the field? Hopefully that is not a trend that continues throughout the next 3 quarters of football here.
We got Cali Bucks, $1.99 super chat. Thank you. A lot of these flags go uncalled every Sunday. I mean, at least a couple of them, right? I mean, they're just really not letting the guys play here.
You always hear the saying, you can call holding on any play. I think, they're being very, very, very strict here with what they're calling. But look at that. 19 offensive plays combined here today. 10 penalties so far.
Yeah.
A lot of laundry on the football field.
All right, here we go. Jets kickoff return here. Gets a little bit past the 35, so they're going to have a short field here with just over 2 minutes left in the first quarter.
They had Xavier Gipson as their week 1 starting kick return and punt return, but he lost the ball.
Yeah, he muffed it.
Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers were able to get the ball back and score. And then they released him after the first week. That's the NFL. Not for long, unfortunately.
Yep.
Tyrod Taylor so far, 4 for 5, 24 yards.
Shaggy here. Just because we look like we did 50 years ago doesn't mean we got to play like it too.
The Buccaneers can break the creamsicle curse here for a win in week number 3. They're going to wear them again in week number 5 against the Seattle Seahawks. That's going to be a beautiful game also in Seattle. Both teams wearing
play action. Tyrod is hit as he threw, but Garrett Wilson, he jumps up, catches a pass, and takes a hit from Zion McCollum after. So close. Saracier Dennis was the one. Almost had the sack.
Comes in
Garrett Wilson. He took a shot there. Surprised that wasn't a flag.
Man.
Breece Hall rushes for a first down. Big gain.
Big gain. You got to stop him. Yep.
17 yards there.
He's an electric running back who can do on the ground, or you can pass it to him. He's going to make some really, really good chunk plays, positive plays for you. Yeah. Buccaneers need to minimize him. A lot of that falls on Sebastian Dennis and Levante David today.
Speaking of Dennis, he stops Hall at the line of scrimmage on the next
play. There we go. Very good play. Sebastian Dennis, obviously, we talked about the up and down first 2 weeks. They've taken him out of the game at times, put in the veteran Deion Jones. I'm sure he doesn't want Deion Jones in the game. He wants to prove that he is a starting caliber NFL inside linebacker, and he has to show that today here.
Yeah, especially in a make-or-break third year.
Mm-hmm.
2nd and 9, we have Tyrod Taylor dropping back. Again, is pressured, but gets the throw off. Incomplete, though. Garrett Wilson could not hold on. We got Jem here. These guys keep whiffing on Taylor. I mean, they have their hands on him, and he just eludes them. There was a flag, though. It was on Olu Fashanu, offensive holding.
Yep, a left tackle here. He was a project when the Jets brought him in last year in the first round, and he got playing time when Tyron Smith went out the left tackle, and then Morgan Moses, the right tackle, he got playing time at left tackle and right tackle last year. He was one of the bright shining stars last year in a very dark, bad season for the New York Jets.
Yeah, well said. And
the longest losing streak, the longest playoff drought in the NFL as well, 14 years. That is insane.
All right, on 2nd 19 here, quick pass to Garrett Wilson up the middle. He's met by LVD and Tweez. And that might be the last play of the first quarter here.
Sets up a long 3rd and 14 for Tyrod Taylor and Darrington.
Bucs fans, feel free to leave your thoughts in the comments here. What do you think about this first quarter? We'll go over some comments here in the little bit of a break we have.
Looks like they might get the snap off before the end of the first quarter, or they're trying to get them off sides. We'll see.
Oh, they try to get him off sides. Diaby jumped. He jumped over. They threw a flag.
They got him. Yep. Or did left tackle we got to see here, but I think they got Diaby. Both sides pointing back and forth.
trying to read lips here, but I don't think it was. No, it was not. So the end of the first quarter, it looked like he jumped, but he didn't.
There's no foul for offsides. Yep.
All right, so the second quarter will start with a 3rd and 14 for the Jets offense. Daniel, what do you make of all this so far?
Real sloppy football. You don't want to see this. We saw last year the Buccaneers started off 2-0. We already thought that the Denver Broncos game was going to be an easy win for them. It turned out Bo Nix and Sean Payton got the better of them. We hope that's not the case this week in week number 3. But you got to clean up the football. You got to clean up your act. You can't have all these penalties. And luckily for Yaya Diaby there, it wasn't an offsides penalty to end the first quarter.
Yeah. When you look at the statistics here, Tyrod Taylor, he started the game off 6 of 7 for 46 yards. Breece Hall has 4 carries for 19 yards. Garrett Wilson's been targeted 4 times. He has 3 catches for 30 yards. On the Bucs side of things, Baker Mayfield, he only threw 2 passes that were counted in the first quarter because of all the penalties. He's 2 of 2 for 22 yards. Bucky Irving, 5 carries for 16 yards. And he's also the leading wide receiver. He had that 25-yard catch.
JG says, recap first quarter. REFS. Refs.
Yeah.
They're not being invisible today. They're throwing everything they can.
Carl here, Yaya so lucky he didn't add to the mountain of penalties. Louis, Buccaneers defense needs to get off the field.
Got a long
Drake, yeah, too many penalties. We knew it'd be rough, but maybe this is too much. Not Will. This is a Bucs team I knew and loved as a kid. LOL. Good to see how far we've come since the 2010s. Again, it's only the first quarter.
Yep.
But very sloppy start here.
I think they'll clean it up, Adam. I think they'll clean this up as we continue. But Luke Haggerty, a bit of concern at that right guard position. He's going up against Quentin Williams, one of the best interior defensive linemen in the league. It's not easy at all.
No.
Let's see, you got to help him out, maybe keep a running back inside. You help him, chip block or whatever you can do. But if you're going to be holding, nobody can help you against holding you. That's something that comes on you.
Yeah, and against Quentin Williams, I mean, you have Ben Bredesen, Luke Haggard. I mean, that's a double team situation there. But the Jets, without Jermaine Johnson, they don't really have that other true pass rusher. I mean, Will McDonald, I mean, you'd hope Graham Barton kind of locks him up throughout the game. But so far, there's been 11 penalties.
Yeah, for the Buccaneers, 7 penalties, 69 yards. Not good whatsoever there. Sloppy, ugly football.
All right, here we go. 3rd and 14. It's Rod. He dumps it off. Mason Taylor, short of the first down, though. So the Bucs defense gets another stop.
Mason Taylor, the rookie at LSU, hasn't been too involved in the offense. He gets a pass there on 3rd down, 4th and 10. 4th and 4. It's going to be Buccaneers ball soon.
Nick Folk coming out for another field goal attempt. He made the first one today, a little bit earlier, 38 yards, first points of the game. This one's going to be from 42.
He had some bad luck during his time here in Tampa. Does that continue making his return back to Tampa at Raymond James Stadium?
Yeah. A little bit of a delay here before the attempt. Then he kind of turned it around after he left Tampa Bay. He's become really accurate. Apparently there's a delay. The refs are talking again. All right. Now they're lining up. Kick is up. And it is good. So the Jets, they retook the lead 6-3 here. A minute into the second quarter. Geist 85, you make a great point. Defense had a lot of rest, but they're already 100% gassed.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but they also, they didn't give up another touchdown there for all the shenanigans going on.
This is also a 1 o'clock game in the Tampa Heat. The New York Jets players, I'm sure, are not used to dealing with this type of environment. So I want to see as the game goes on, especially if Josh Grisar and this offense relies on the run game, how tired can get this New York Jets defense? Throughout, are they going to be gassed, into the second half, in 3rd quarter, 4th quarter? But for the offense, you got to clean up those. We're going to see them out here on the field now soon after this commercial break. But you got to clean up those penalties. No more holding on Ryan Miller or Luke Haggard. You got to clean up your play.
Yeah, I mean, Kobe Goat Mamba says, what's the excuses, guys? I mean, really, so far there is no excuse for all the sloppiness, all the penalties that have been called. I mean, both sides of the football really need to clean it up. But again, when you look at the defense here, only giving up 6 points. They haven't given up a touchdown yet. They've been able to make stops when it matters. Offensively, though, things really need to get going. And this can't be a case of, just kind of beating yourselves. I mean, they have a Jets defense. They have some playmakers, but they can also... There's no excuse that they shouldn't be able to put points on the board either. Buccaneer Bryce, this game is drunk. Happy hour started early a little bit.
Geist 85, not a Super Bowl team right now. They have a lot of injuries, but there's no excuses for penalties like holding here.
Yeah. Yeah, so many penalties on the Bucs. Not a Super Bowl team right now. I mean, hopefully they get up to speed a little bit, get a little healthier, and start to resemble more of that playoff caliber team. But at the same time, they're 2-0 today. They're going up against Jets team without their starting quarterback. So there's a very real likelihood here that they could still get off to 3-0.
Q's 44 says we'll find out against the Eagles, and that's, I think he's picking off of that Super Bowl contender, comment there. But we'll see next week. That's a true test. You're going up against the reigning Super Bowl champions, Philadelphia Eagles. Can you go up against them? Maybe Chris Godwin Jr. comes back. Maybe Tristan Wirfs comes back. We'll see. That's going to be a very, very interesting test for this Tampa Bay Buccaneers team early in the season.
Yes, it will. Early season measuring stick. I just saw the weather. It's 89 right now at Raymond James Stadium, so definitely dealing with the heat. Dr. Nick, just get through this game.
Yep.
Sean Tucker's kickoff just short of the 25. All right, Daniel, who are you looking at?
Real quick, sloppy football, but those uniforms, man, they look really, really, really nice for the Buccaneers.
It's been 17,815 days since these throwbacks were last worn.
Wow, man, and they're here for a limited time only.
Yeah,
but I'm just looking for the Buccaneers to clean up their act here. No more penalties. When you see those positive plays, hopefully we're not looking around to see if there's any flags on the field.
Definitely. First down throw here by Baker Mayfield to Mike Evans. Incomplete. Sauce Gardner playing tight coverage there.
Sauce Gardner throughout the first 2 weeks has had the highest PFF coverage grade. He's been really incredible throughout the first 2 weeks this season here. Let's see if that continues in week 3. He's going up against Mike Evans, a future first ballot Hall of Famer. Again, Mike Evans has not had it easy. AJ Terrell, Derek Singleton Jr., and now Sauce Gardner. Not easier for him, but he's built for that.
All right, let's see here. Baker Mayfield. He's launching it deep. Right sideline. Emeka Egbuka, ladies and gentlemen. One-handed catch. He's playing in this one.
Wow.
Big first down. Wow, that was a sick catch.
What a play. Jason Light on the sideline going crazy also. What a catch there.
How did he catch that? On Sauce Gardner, no less, too.
With the sun out, they're outside. He's just able to track the ball. Wow. Incredible.
Yeah, he's going to be limited. Yeah, right. Look at that. There we go. Love the reactions here.
Yeah.
Mecca is amazing. OMG. Holy moly.
Mechatron.
Yeah, Mechatron.
Wow, Mecca is amazing. Yep.
All right. Maybe that gives them some momentum here.
Yep.
Baker finds Mecca again, just short of the first down.
He just looks like Chris Godwin out there at him. Man, it's like they found a perfect clone of Chris Godwin. Even the way he practiced, everything about this guy is just like Chris Godwin Jr. I think he's going to be, let's see what happens, but I think he's going to be a Buccaneer for life, just like Mike Evans, just like Chris Godwin, man. He has that perfect mold. He's that guy like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers like to bring in.
Yeah, he's already him, and it's only like 3 games in.
we got a flag out here.
Let's see. I think the flag's offset. So it's 3rd and 8. Last play was a 6-yard loss.
Yep, offsetting. Stan Glassman. You see him talking right there. That's Emeka Egbuka talking to Chris Godwin Jr. He said it before. He's his mentor. You know, he's in the locker room. Any question he has, whether it's about football or personal life, he's right there. Chris Godwin Jr. is to give him any advice he needs. And you can't ask for a better locker room to be in than one with Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. He's set for success.
And you can't forget about Sterling Shepard either.
Yeah.
On 3rd down, Baker Mayfield just completed it to Sterling Shepard up the middle for 15 yards to move the chains.
Baker didn't forget about him. That boomer connection.
Sterling made sure he held on to it. Nice veteran play there. First down at the 30. They're going a little bit no huddle, a little bit more up-tempo.
I like that. Empty backfield.
Maybe it's a way to kind of clean it up.
Buck here, we're going to the backfield now.
Again, Sterling Shepard, a little dump off at the line of scrimmage. He's still going 2nd level. Gets down to the 5.
Wow.
Sterling Shepard is wide receiver 3 here. He's making some plays.
All right, now can the Buccaneers cap this drive off with a touchdown? You know you're in field goal range, but you don't want 3 points. You want a touchdown right now.
You know who they go to on 1st and goal? Mike Evans. He gets a touchdown. Touchdown, Tampa Bay.
Wow.
And hold up, we got We got the video too.
Boom.
Baker to Mike, baby. Puts him on the board.
And not going against Sauce Gardner there. He's going against the other cornerback. You have Brandon Stevens from the Baltimore Ravens. They signed him. Very positive play. Buccaneers go up. Can Chase McLaughlin make the extra point? If he can,
Yeah.
It's a 6-10 ball game here. How you guys feeling? Let us know. Hughes 44, old school Evans. Yeah.
Yeah, you wanted to see Evans score in the throwback uniform. So that's a nice sight to see. Big Mike. Mike. You know, it's automatic when it comes to Mike. And that's just what the offense needed here. Showing that they could still score despite all the challenges with the offensive line, whatever you want to say about that. And they overcame all the penalties on the first drive. So again, after a slow start, like you saw in the season opener, they were able to overcome that and drive down the field thanks to great plays, just getting the ball in the hands of the playmakers here. Emeka Egbuka, the one-handed catch. Sterling Shepard involving him back-to-back plays. I mean, they're just finding ways to score. And again, credit to Josh Grizzard. He orchestrated a great drive there.
Yeah, Josh Grizzard talked about it this week. He can't wait till halftime. No, halftime is really short. You got to make those adjustments during the game, and that's what they did here. And I love the up-tempo look also that they went with. He just kept the ball moving. He just kept going down the field. And luckily for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, no holding penalties, no penalties whatsoever. And cap it off that drive with a Mike Evans touchdown, going up 10-6 on this ball game, man. That was incredible football right there.
Can't wait until Godwin comes back. It's going to be an awesome receiving group. You said it.
Adam, when Godwin comes back, who do you double team? Because, you know, most teams are going to double team Mike Evans, but then they're just going to go to, you know, Baker's going to go to Emeka Egbuka or Chris Godwin, man. So what do you do if you're a defensive play caller going up against Tampa Bay Buccaneers?
I think you're staying up late at night. You're not getting much sleep throughout the week. It's going to look a lot like the Bucs offense in 2020, back when they had AB, CG, and Mike. I mean, you replaced AB with Emeka, and when you look at it now, I mean, honestly, this receiving room might be more stacked because wide receiver 4, Sterling Shepard. You got Tez Johnson, the rookie. At some point, he'll probably get in there and make some plays. This is just so deep. And when the offense is back as healthy as they can get now, I mean, they're going to be a force to be reckoned with, and they're already doing well.
And then also when Jalen McMillan comes back later on in the year, it's going to be four wide receivers that are going to be really hard to stop if you're a defensive play caller. And like you said, if I'm a defensive play caller going up against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I'm not getting sleep the night before or the whole week leading up to that game.
No.
Hughes 44 says rugby score here.
One-handed catch of the year, Emeka Egbuka. We'll see.
Beautiful.
Maybe he could top it.
Just tracking that ball, able to come down if you're working against the defender there on the right sideline. Beautiful play. And Todd Bowles has said this before. He's not a luxury pick. He's not a luxury pick, and he's showing it right now. Got the first 3 weeks of the year.
Yeah. All right, Chase McLaughlin kicks it back off to the Jets here. Fields at about the 10. Gets out just past the 35. Nice cut to Emeka and Baker on the sideline there. All smiles. And that was Baker's 7th touchdown pass of the year. Still no interceptions either. So you got to like that touchdown to interception ratio a little bit.
Yeah, it's 6-0. Now, in the first game, he had a few plays that could have been picked off, but luckily for him, they weren't. Tyrod Taylor playing pretty efficiently so far, 7 for 8, 55 yards. Tanner, interesting talk about there's going to be no drop off in this offense. They could keep calling the same exact offense. Nothing changes with Tyrod Taylor filling in for Justin Fields.
BMO makes his first big play in the NFL. A little pass to the right. He snuffed it out. Big TFL there on first down.
Huge play for Morrison. And he's going to be now he's healthy.
Plays.
Yeah. He's going to be competing with Jamel Dean for that outside starting position. We didn't get to see him, too much in training camp or preseason because of injuries. But now he's back out there healthy, making big positive plays for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You'd love to see it.
Yes, he is. and probably get some more playing time in this one too, because you'd imagine like McCollum and Dean, they're probably going to be watching Garrett Wilson. But I mean, it's an opportunity for Benjamin Morrison against some of these lesser wide receivers.
That is correct.
Terod again escapes pressure, but is able to get a couple of yards here before brought down by Servassier Dennis. Again, you got to sack the quarterback here.
I mean, yeah, he's so close there. Couldn't get him down to 3rd and 10 now.
Yeah.
Can the Buccaneers get this New York Jets offense off of the field? We will see.
This is a big 3rd down, too.
Yep.
I mean, because if they get the ball, get another score, the Jets don't really do well playing from behind. And we're going to see here.
Bucs basement. Why are we missing sacks on Taylor? Yeah, they couldn't get him down there.
Terod again is pressured, but is able to get it off. It looks like it was a 1st down to Garrett Wilson.
Great pressure there. I believe it was Jacob Parrish. They're going to show the replay, but great pressure. Almost got to Tyrod Taylor. But again,
almost. I mean, that's been the theme of this, though.
Yeah, almost.
I mean, I like the pressure looks. I like how they're able to get after the quarterback. They just need to bring him down.
Yep. 4th and 1. They didn't give them the 1st down.
Oh, they didn't give it. Okay. 4th and 1, but the offense is still on the field. Braylon Allen, the big power back, but he's stopped. Hassan Reddick is the first one there. He's pumped. Making plays against his former team.
What a positive play for this defense. Wow.
That was a gutsy decision to go for it.
Very gutsy, yeah.
Because now the Bucs have a short field.
Great.
And they already have some momentum here on offense.
Daniel Gomez, turnover. Stan Glassman stopped. Man.
Yeah.
He's 44 here. Man. Let's go, baby. Turnover.
Yeah, big turnover there.
Possibly a momentum changer. Do they go down the field right now? They have a great field position. If they score a touchdown, this makes you feel a lot better, as the game progresses and all this, really, really good football right there by you defense of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers team.
Cody P. That's what we want to see. And Dan in Arizona, you can't see it, but I'm dancing on my sofa. Q's 44, pound the pancake. JB Easy, was that linebacker Hassan or defensive end Hassan? It looked like defensive end Hassan. 4th and inches. All coaches go for it now. That's fair. I mean, Dan Campbell has kind of led the charge in that regard, but still, I mean, you're on your own field, and now you give the ball back to the Bucs. So that was a risky play call.
Very risky. And it didn't work out in their favor there. Q's 44 says Bucky time. Let's see. Do they ride Bucky and Rachaad White? That running back and Sean Tucker for Q's 44.
Tony, Morrison, and Parrish have made their presence known. Hassan steps up at the right time. All these newcomers making plays for the Bucs defense here.
Yeah, great pressure there by Jacob Parrish. Couldn't get to Tyrod Taylor. It was so close. And a great tackle for loss by Benjamin Morrison. We talked about that in the 2nd-round pick. He's finally healthy, and he's making an impact out there on the football field.
And you're seeing all these rookies in this game so far, Daniel. You got Emeka. You got Bima. You got Jacob Parrish. I mean, great rookie class so far.
Scott Federico here with some sarcasm. Trash. Worst team. We suck. Feel the sarcasm. Go Bucs. Yeah,
you just got to let it play out.
Yeah, it's a marathon. It's not it's not a sprint. This is a 60-minute football game. He's got to let it just see how it plays out, like you said, Adam.
Yeah.
Dan Arizona, like the Rook DBs. Both of them been playing really, really good.
And now you want to see kind of more offensive balance here on their 3rd offensive drive, I believe now. Mix it up. Rachaad, he had a big game last week. Give him some more touches. Bucky Irving, you know what he can do. He had that big gain earlier. But then also, you saw what Baker was able to do in the passing game.
Connecting with Sterling Shepard and Mike Evans as well. And
There you go, Rachaad. 1st down, about a 7-yard run. Time for Bucky the Ducky. I don't think the Ducky will be out there, but.
Beautiful run stop. They're showing the replay here. Beautiful run stop by Hassan Reddick.
2nd and 3. Rachaad is stopped at the line of scrimmage. by Quinnen Williams. You know how good he is.
Yeah.
Flag after the play, though. Both coaches are mean mugging on the sideline. No foul on the play. 3rd down.
There we go. Good. No more extra penalties.
We've had to get really good at lip reading here. All these penalties. But it'll be 3rd and 3. Daniel, what are you looking to see on this 3rd down here?
I think you got to pass it. Some kind of short dink and dunk. I wouldn't go anything too far down the field, but you're at least in field goal range. If it doesn't work out, it's a 13-6 ball game.
Yeah. Worst comes to worst here.
Yeah. Got Mike Evans on the bottom going to be working against Sauce Gardner there.
3rd and 3. They give it to Rashad along the right. He got the 1st down, but there is a flag.
They don't go pass. They go run. Very positive play there by Rashad White. And again, this is a New York Jets team that struggled dramatically, significantly in week number 2, stopping the run. Let's see, what is this penalty? Oh, it's on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I can't really.
Offensive holding on Elijah Klein.
Okay.
So both backup guards have been called for offensive holding penalties. The refs must really not like any sort of holding by an offensive lineman. You can't even touch him.
He did a great job pulling around, setting up that block for that Rashad White run, but can't hold and couldn't really tell too there. Was it a real holding call or were they just calling it here? But we'll see. 12 penalties, 135 yards of penalties combined. Wow. 3rd and 13 for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Mayfield drops back. Oh, fumble. He's hit as he throws. The ball is flying backwards, but Emeka Egbuka is able to recover it.
Yeah.
That's a tough break. Knocks him out of field goal range. Man.
Now you got to punt it.
And you're just seeing the effect of Quinnen Williams here. I mean, one of the best defensive tackles in all football. He's eating against these backup offensive linemen. Oh, that was Quincy Williams. Sorry.
His brother.
His brother. You got Quincy, you got Quinnen. You hope
Wouldn't that be awesome playing in the NFL with your brother? You get that opportunity there. Oh, but Baker Mayfield looks like his right hand. We'll watch that throughout the entire game.
And he was sore after the last game against the Texans. You don't like the close-up to the hand.
No, you never like that. All right, Riley Dixon, can he pin them back there deep?
Well, he didn't get blocked.
Yeah, that's a positive, right?
All right, fair catch at about the 18-yard line.
So again, for that drive, penalties, of course. Penalties took the Buccaneers out of field goal range and resulted in the Buccaneers having to punt the ball away. 0 points added on that drive.
Well, it wasn't blocked. It was only a 28-yard punt. I mean, you're paid to pin him back a little bit deeper there. Geist 85. O-line may cost us this game. Yeah, just real inexcusable play so far. I mean, you got Graham Barton, Elijah Klein, Luke Haggard are all called for holds. I mean, Charlie Heck, we haven't brought his name up. He's actually doing all right because he hasn't been called for a penalty.
That's good when you don't hear Charlie Heck's name at all. Same thing with Graham Barton. O-line, man.
How do we get perfect field position? And this O-line has to screw us again. I mean, they had the opportunity. The defense held up. They got that turnover on downs. You wanted to see them take advantage, at least get 3 points, make this a touchdown game. It didn't happen. And this drive, Daniel, it could come back to haunt them because you wanted to get points here.
Man. Elijah Klein did a great job playing left guard, pulling around on that block, setting up that Rashad White run, but you just can't hold. These are things that, you just can't do because they're drive killers, like we talked about, back them out of field goal range, and just really hurts your team here. You're just hoping the defense can make another stop, make sure that they don't break and that you're just able to score a touchdown on this drive or any points, really. The Geist 85, 28-yard punt. Our special teams has been rough this year. Yeah, that is correct.
Yeah. We'll see here. I want to see a turnover by the Bucs defense.
Yeah.
I mean, they've come so close to getting sacks, but you want to see them take the ball away. Again, trying to give the offense as many chances, you know, all the problems that they're dealing with right now. They got to come through.
David says growing pains for the O-line, Q's 44. Okay, let's put the other units on it at halftime. Great comment there. They're trying to break the creamsicle curse, and so far it's looking like the original 76 year.
Joshua here. Crazy, the offensive line has been the healthiest group over the past couple of years, and now this year they're all getting hurt. Yeah, relying on third and fourth stringers.
Injury bug's something you can't fight up against, you know? It's just, when it stings, when it strikes, it strikes. And it hit the O-line unit this year, and of course hit Elijah Cansey last week as well. But you want to make sure that you have your O-line intact, and they don't have that. They don't have that right now. And you're seeing the result of that with these pressures and also the penalties by your backup offensive guards.
All right, here we go. Jets offense on the field. Before the play even starts, there's a flag thrown. And it was Yaya Diaby offsides there. And Daniel, it's been a disappointing game for Yaya Diaby. I mean, he's just not making impact plays that you want to see from him. Instead, they're all negative. I mean, he's not getting. It's like Joe Tryon-Shoyinka 2.0 here. I mean, you don't want that, but he's not bringing down the quarterback, getting called for penalties.
No, and he's a guy who, you know, you want to see him have high sack production, get at least 10 sacks this year. But so far this season, and he did have a week number 1, but it got taken away by Jamel Dean's face mask. But so far, besides that, not a huge impact so far on the football field. The only impact has been with these penalties, yeah.
Antoine Winfield Jr., he's having a good game, and he had a big tackle for loss there. Broke up the short pass. Loss of 5 yards. Diaby made up for that a little bit. He had the pressure.
Yeah, great pressure there.
Force the ball out.
You know, every time
AJ says,
look at the hit that he had on Tyrod Taylor, but every time there's a positive play, you're looking around to make sure there's no flags on the football field with the way this game's going.
Second and 10 here. Braylon Allen.
In motion.
Big, powerful run by the bruising back. It'll be third and short.
Yeah, he's a powerful runner. The Buccaneers don't have a powerful runner. You know, Rashad Wright's the biggest of their running backs. He says he's the power guy. You know, he said that before. You know, they have a good combination between Allen and Breece Hall. And we haven't seen much of Breece Hall in the passing game so far this season for the New York Jets. And you hope it continues like that if you're a Buccaneers follower.
Yeah, in this game, he has not factored in at all, really, in the passing game.
Look at the fans getting loud. We can't hear it, but I'm sure they're getting super, super loud here. Third and four. Tight end
incomplete. There is a flag.
And we're gonna have to do some research here. We got to see what game had the most flags ever thrown. I'm sure this game right now at this pace is in contention.
Yeah, at this pace, I'd say it's the first. There was a penalty, but it was on the New York Jets.
Legal
on Mason
shift
Taylor. Legal shift. 4th and 4. Yeah, now I want to look it up. I want to know what game.
Yeah, what game is it? So the Buccaneers going to get the ball back here on this punt return.
The Bucs. Okay, I asked AI, so you know I'm looking for a quick answer here. Oakland Raiders versus Tampa Bay Buccaneers. In October of 2016, there was 39 penalties.
Oh, okay. Wow. So I'm not sure how many penalties so far they might show later on the broadcast, but this game might be in contention. Beat that game. Have 40, 40, if not more. But wow. Guys, how you feeling so far? Let us know.
We do have some Bucs pictures here so far during the game. We got Baker Mayfield. Levante David Servassier, Todd Bowles and Vita. And a little look at Todd Bowles here going up against his the team that he formerly once coached. Just seeing him rocking those creamsicle uniforms always looks nice.
So David says, get Cam Johnson involved, use his speed. Tez Johnson's also active in today's game, so can they get him the ball? Every time he gets the ball, it looks kind of like, you ever played Madden, Adam, and you give your guy like 99 speed, 99 acceleration. He's not the quickest, his 40 time, but you just give him the ball, and he's electric with the football.
You're on rookie mode, and you're just having fun moving the left stick around.
Yep.
But we'll see Johnson & Johnson maybe, but, I mean, they're getting a lot of production from the top 3 wide receivers here.
Yeah. Daniel Gomez need a touchdown here. We get the ball in the second half. That is correct.
Yeah, that's another key factor to consider here. Just over 5.5 minutes left in the second quarter. Bucs is clamped down. Just have to get some points whatever way we can. Definitely have to find a way to manufacture them. And the way I've kind of seen this game going in, Daniel, is whoever gets to the 20-point threshold is the one that's going to come out on top here.
No, I agree with you. It's not going to be a high-scoring game, I believe. Stan Glassman says, some of the strike or lockout year games were full of flags. Scab games were the awful. Yeah. Now you found out it was the 2016 game against the Oakland Raiders. 39 penalties. That is insane.
And where are we at here? We are... So Jets have 4 penalties for 56 yards. Bucs have 9 penalties for 84 yards. And just to look at it, so far the Jets have 13 minutes, 33 seconds time of possession. Bucs, 10 minutes, 46 seconds. Here we go. Bucs offense back out there at the 30. Got Tez in motion, but the play is stopped dead. Flag. Looks to be on the offense. And it is. Graham Barton is called for a false start.
More penalties.
I think when on the plays where the offense isn't called for like a penalty, the offensive lines looked fine. It just, they're holding so much here. And false starts, just, you could tell it's a new offensive line.
Yeah. This has been a unit that has been able to stay healthy throughout the past few years. For the most part, but now the injury bug struck the offensive line. The Buccaneers are seeing the result of that this week.
Ooh, 1st and 15. It looked like Mike would have had it, but he dropped it.
Oh, yeah, you got to come down with that. Hit him right in the hands. I'm sure he wants that one back.
Yeah. Nice throw by Baker. Had time. Looked like Mike, he was looking to go forward instead of catching the ball first.
Yeah, didn't secure the catch, the possession, wanted to run before he even grabbed it. Man, could have been a huge play, huge first down for Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now 2nd and 15.
We got Baker looking, going through his reads. This time, it's held on by Mr. Mike, but it's going to be still 3rd and long.
And you have to go up a bit high for that one. It comes down with it.
Yeah, only a 6-yard gain there.
Yeah, one of the most consistent wide receivers ever in NFL history.
Yeah.
Great for Bucs fans and great for everybody that we get to witness his career. Every single snap, he has been phenomenal to watch throughout his entire career. 3rd and 9 now for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers offense.
See how they look to do it here. You got 3 wide receivers lined up to the left. Shad White's at Baker Mayfield's right. He's in pass pro. Baker couldn't find anybody. He's sacked. Ball comes out. Bucs offensive line is holding on to it. That was Graham Barton. I mean, Baker maybe had like 1.5 seconds there to throw. He tucked and ran, and there was nowhere to run.
A close-up on that hand again. That might be a problem moving forward. You hope not.
Yeah.
But really
was
nowhere
knocked
to go.
out right at the end there. That was a live ball.
His ankle also looked a little bit rolled up on there, but man.
Yeah. I'm watching Baker's hand.
Yeah. That's his throwing hand. That's not his left hand. That's his throwing hand there. All right, now. All right, just going to get back about the 38, 37-yard line.
That was only a 39-yard punt by Riley Dixon there. So, again, I mean, he's getting them off, but not the kind of net yards you want to see. And they're doing a little side-by-side here with the commercial and Baker. And they're just showing him on the sideline what the plan is. I mean, hopefully his hand's all right, because you don't want to get in a situation where he's out of the game against with all your backup offensive linemen, too, for that matter.
Yes, it's a dangerous position to put your franchise quarterback behind this makeshift offensive line with all these injuries there. But, Baker Mayfield, he's a fighter. No matter how banged up he is, he's going to be out there. He's going to give you everything he has. And Ronnie Barber said this before. He's the perfect Buccaneer, and he has fire. And Bucky Irving said it last week. If he had to walk down a dark alley, he's taking Baker Mayfield into that dark alley with him, because he's going to come out shooting. The guys love this guy. The fan base loves this guy as well. He's going to give you everything he has.
Grizz and him were talking after that drive. He was not getting looked at by trainers. It was the offensive coaches. But first down for the Jets here. Breece Hall back to the line of scrimmage. Looked like Hassan Reddick was there. Like Yaya Diaby not having the best game. Hassan Reddick, he's looking pretty good.
Yeah, especially against the run here. And that big 4th-and-1 stop earlier in the game has another big run stop there as well. 2nd and 10 now for the New York Jets. We have about 3:50 left on the play clock here. And again, the Buccaneers do get the ball back to start the second half.
Just got to find a way. Help is coming soon. Breece Hall in the second down run. Gets a couple of yards, but Levante's there to make sure he goes down. I mean, again, you look at the first two drives, the Bucs defense gave up 3 points apiece. But since then, and what you kind of saw in the Texans game, is that they're starting to hold, They're making these stops. They're finding a way. It's not always the prettiest, but, they're not giving up points either. Yeah,
these past few weeks have not been pretty, but they're finding ways to win. And let's see if they find a way to win this game. Up right now, they have the lead. They're going to have a big third down stop here. 3rd and 7 for the New York Jets.
On third down, Tyrod, he dropped back. Ball came out.
Oh, wow.
He's celebrating. It looks like it might be Bucs ball here. It is. Vita Vea. Big guy came up with it.
Huge play. Finally a turnover.
That's the first takeaway by the Bucs defense this season.
Wow. I want to see the replay on that one. Who had the pressure there? Was it Yaya Diaby?
No. Antoine Winfield Jr. came around.
On the blitz. Whoa. He slipped under
making plays
there. Wow.
Tweez knows how to take the ball out better than anyone.
No doubt. He's had these huge, especially like the Kyle Pitts one a few years ago, where he just knocked it out in the back end of the end zone, gets the Panthers as well. He's Mr. Hustle, Mr. Effort. You want this guy on your football team. He's a tremendous player, a tremendous guy as well. Huge play. Sets the Buccaneers offense up in a perfect position now. You're in field goal range no matter what.
First down play action. Baker has time to throw. He escapes, does a spin move, a juke move.
Wow.
Gets a positive gain. He made 4 defenders miss there, but there's flags.
There's a flag. Of course there is. Now let's see who is it on. We can't hear what's going on.
That's on the Jets.
On the Jets, yeah.
That is on Michael Clemens. He's called for a face mask here. So that's going to set the Bucs up real nice, real pretty.
Michael Clemens filling in for Jermaine Johnson. Yep.
Face mask on Baker.
That's going to get called every single time.
Especially when it's the quarterback.
Yeah. They want to protect these guys.
All right, so here we go. 2.5 minutes left, just before the 2-minute warning. They have the ball at the 16-yard line. So they're in the red zone. They're in range. Bucky Irving gets a handoff to the left, but he is stuffed. Quincy Williams there.
Yeah, nowhere to go for Bucky Irving there.
That's going to be the 2-minute warning. But the Bucs are in position. You know, if they get a field goal, they make it a touchdown game, a touchdown, 2-possession game. And again, they get the ball back in the second half. So things are looking up here.
That Tweed's fourth fumble, man, has changed everything here.
Yeah.
Great field position. And the Buccaneers finally get a turnover. And Vita Vea was able to recover that fumble. Tremendous play for the defense.
Yeah. That's a playmaker making a play. The Bucs have a positive turnover differential for the first time in what feels like forever. So,
how you guys feeling so far right now? Q's 44, score here, then third double dip. Yeah, because again, they get the ball back when we come back from halftime.
Twan Blow, run the ball. He makes it clear here. All caps. And he follows it up. The Bucs OC is struggling right now. I don't know if it's hard. I mean, the circumstances that Baker's given, I mean, Baker's still completed 8 of 11 passes, 111 yards and a touchdown. I mean, by all accounts, he's played a really gritty game here. So
they're doing the most they can with this offensive line. And so far, you know, they have the lead and they have a chance right now to go down the field and score more points. Tony says the Eagles are currently losing. You took the Eagles to lose that game.
I did.
Yes, sir. Yeah. With our head-to-head matchup. We're tied up 27-6. So let's see after this week who gets the edge.
Yeah, really excited to see how that goes. To look at across the league here, Packers-Browns. Packers are winning 3-0 at halftime. The Colts are up 17-6. The Vikings are winning 17-3 over the Bengals. The Steelers are up 14-7 over the Patriots. The Rams, as you mentioned, are beating the Eagles 16-7. The Commanders, rolling with Marcus Mariota, are currently beating the Raiders 17-10. An NFC South matchup, the Panthers are winning over the Dirty Birds 10-0. And then the last game that is going on right now, the Jaguars are playing the Texans and hold a 7-3 lead. So
yeah, the Colts with the lead right now in that game. Daniel Jones has been tremendous throughout the first few weeks of the season. They could possibly go 3-0, just like the Bucs could possibly go 3-0 here. And a lot of times, you know, maybe you just need a change of place and a fresh start somewhere new. And we've seen that with Baker Mayfield. He had to bounce around a few times, but
Sam Darnold, Geno Smith. Yeah. I mean, it's happened so many times now.
Yeah, this is a league where, you know, you have to produce right away. And look, they're showing Ryan Jensen, Ali Marpet there, Bruce Arians.
So many former players in attendance today. And a little bit of a celebration. 2nd and 12. Baker drops back, finds Bucky Irving for a couple yards.
I know a lot of fans were wanting Ali Marpet to somewhere find his way, you know, as a joke, of course, to come back on the football field with all these injuries, but he's slimmed down. He can't be back. He's 245 now. He's not.
Maybe as a tight end.
Yeah. A blocking tight end.
Jets take a timeout here. We're looking to get a stop and maybe get the ball back.
3rd and 11. Stan Glassman, those two guys should still be playing. Ryan Jensen, he was the leader of that offensive line, so aggressive. After the play ends, you know, he's still pushing guys around. He set the tone for the offensive line. And we know Ali Marpet, one of the greatest offensive linemen in Tampa Bay Buccaneers history.
3rd and 11, it's a screen. And Rashad White behind the line of scrimmage on the left side. Only gets a couple of yards. It's going to be a 4th down. Chase McLaughlin's going to come out. Try to make this a touchdown game.
He made the 54-yard kick earlier. This one should be an easy one for him, but
comparatively, it's a chip shot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Baker, I mean, he's had to throw a lot of passes behind the line of scrimmage. I mean, it was really just that one drive where he was able to find Emeka Egbuka down the field, able to find Sterling Shepard a little bit, but
yeah. It doesn't
be a lot of adjustments in the second half here.
Doesn't matter if you have Tom Brady back there, Patrick Mahomes. If your offensive line isn't protecting you, you're not going to have much success. But so far, 9 for 12, 112 yards, 1 touchdown. He's making the most with what he has at his disposal here.
33-yard field goal attempt by Chase McLaughlin is good.
There we go.
1:43 left in the second quarter. So Chase McLaughlin, he looks like himself. I mean, there's a saving grace here. Tony with the point, do we ever intend to use Cade Otton maybe in the second half? Correct me if I'm wrong. I think he only has 1 catch this year. I mean, the tight end and Josh Grizzard's offense apparently is non-existent.
Yeah, I said earlier in the broadcast, I want to see the tight ends get more involved. And so far, nothing to really tight ends. Besides the converted tight end, Ryan Miller to wide receiver, having that penalty earlier in the game, the holding penalty. We haven't seen much by tight ends at all. So Hall of Famers in attendance here, or just Hall of Famers for the Buccaneers, Rondé Barber, Derek Brooks, all those guys, all those great Buccaneers. 50 seasons, Adam, 50 seasons.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of bad, but there's been a lot of good.
Yeah, and they're finding ways to celebrate even the down times, the dark times. I mean, the little documentary that's going to be coming out later this year, directed by Trent Cooper. I mean, they still found a way to really chronicle the early times, the 1979 season with Doug Williams, Jimmy Giles. I mean, there's a lot of history in Tampa Bay, and these uniforms are a great way to kind of commemorate that, but also kind of recreate it in the present setting. And I think aesthetically, they're some of the best uniforms in the NFL.
No doubt. These and the Chargers, those powder blue, but
ooh, yeah, those are nice.
Yeah. All right, so the Jets going to get the ball back here. 1:43 left. They have 1 touchdown. I'm sorry, 1 timeout. So, can the Buccaneers defense get a stop? You just hope, no more points added to the scoreboard if you're the New York, for the New York Jets. But it's going to be interesting. Can the defense get another stop here? Hustle Jam 32 should work then. Jack, live in Texas. Yeah, we got Buccaneers fans, not just in Florida, but everywhere. You guys do roll call on Mondays at 4:20, and we got Bucs fans everywhere. Even we got UK Bucs fans, Brazil Bucs fans everywhere. It's great to see how international this fan base is.
Tyrod Taylor's first pass is deflected at the line of scrimmage here. It looked like Sebastian Dennis. Let's see here. Yeah, he batted it down. That was a nice play by him.
Yeah, great play.
That's awesome. Rustman watching this Bucs game from Kuwait.
Yeah, look
big shout out to you. That's a big time difference. On second down, Zion McCollum deflects a pass. I mean, Bucs defense might they might get a stop and give the ball back to the offense here.
And the Buccaneers have 3 timeouts.
Yeah.
So let's see what happens. Big 3rd and 10.
If there's one strength of the Bucs offense, it's running that 2-minute drill. We've seen it, the first 2 weeks of the season. So
Nareesh watching Bucs game from India. Big Bucs fan. Yeah, man, real international, this fan base. You'd love to see it. Amazing. That's awesome.
On 3rd and 10, Tyrod Taylor's taken down for a sack.
Wow.
That is Jacob Parrish, the rookie nickelback there. We'll see what the flag is, but wow. These Bucs defensive backs, they're coming home on these blitzes.
Whoa.
Holding is on offense. It's declined. So you know what that means.
Wow.
That's a sack, folks. Big sack on 3rd down there. Give the ball back to the offense. They still have some time to cook a little bit.
He has a clean block there, has a clean sack there as well. Nobody tried to block him. He just free range to the quarterback. Huge play for the rookie.
Huge play indeed. It was a loss of 10 yards. Ooh. Punt return. Punt returner took a big hit there.
Wow, yeah.
But held on to it. Maybe should have called for the fair catch.
Minute 22, 3 timeouts, Adam. What do you think they can do here? You think they can do it? Go down the field and score some points?
I think so. Baker just needs time to throw it a little bit.
Yeah. Needs time, and hopefully his offensive line doesn't have any more holding penalties.
Yeah. One thing I want to see, Daniel, in the second half, I imagine they're not going to be running it here, but the run game for the Bucs has not gotten off the ground. I mean, Bucky Irving has 8 carries for 13 yards. Rashad White has 3 carries for 11 yards. So really not getting yards here. And that would only help Baker have time to throw.
Yeah. Here we want to see up-tempo, just keep the ball moving, keep going down the field. You have 3 timeouts, use the sideline as your friend as well.
I want to see him be aggressive.
Yep.
Zach Beislein, is he in Todd Bowles' ear right now saying, hey, let's move the ball?
Right up the middle there for a 4-yard gain by Bucky Irving. 2nd and 6 now, 1:07 left on the clock.
Bucky makes 2 guys miss, gets to the sideline, smart play, 3rd and short here. And just going back to Jacob Parrish for a moment, Engel, I mean, Parrish looks really good early, really good. And the latest nickelback to make an impact here. Yeah, Christian Izzy in 2023, Tyke Smith last year, and Jacob Parrish, he's looking like the real deal. Very physical for his size. Plays much bigger than 5'10", 190.
He has a 4.35 speed as well.
Yeah.
Very fast, very physical corner.
On 3rd and 2, Bucky Irving is stopped at the line of scrimmage. That's going to be 4th down.
Ooh, okay. If this was Madden, I'd say go for it. But right now in this situation, this isn't Madden. There's a lot of guys who have their jobs on the line. I would not go for this one. Punt it over to the Jets.
I have to agree with the Pewter people here. I mean, not sure why they ran it all 3 plays. I've got Geis says absolutely awful. This offense is crap. What was that? I mean, that is questionable play calling because, I mean, you got the ball back. The defense came through. You have time to go down the field. All of your timeouts, you know?
We have a Jets
passing game going.
Jets player injured here. It looks pretty bad. We got players and Aaron Glenn coming over to check on what's going on. Couldn't see who it was. Is it?
It looked like Quincy Williams.
Quincy Williams. Very unfortunate. This is a very physical sport, contact sport, of course, but these injuries can be very devastating.
Y'all say run it and then cry when they run. I mean, there you don't run it. You run the ball in the second half when you get the ball back. Playing with a lead. I mean, if you drove down there, trusted Baker Mayfield to move the ball down the field, you know, then it's a different situation. Then you can control the clock in the second half. But there, I mean, why are you running it 3 times in a row? I don't get that.
Yeah, Adam, you said it. You wanted to see Josh Grizzard be aggressive, and that was not aggressive, running the ball there. This was an obvious, if you want to be aggressive, you want to actually go down the field, you had to pass it there. And running the ball, no success there. And Quincy Williams, it looks like it's a shoulder injury for him there. We'll see when the broadcast comes back. But, yeah, not smart play calling. They're playing a little bit safe rather than aggressive.
Yeah.
Miguel R just needed 2 yards. Fantasy football locker room. It would have just been holding anyways.
Yeah. Yeah, winning and getting the ball at half, they went conservative.
Twan Blow says Grids caused the game scared, LOL. Last week in that 2-minute drill, he didn't call it scared, but there he was a little bit safer than you would have wanted him to be there.
Scott makes a point, though. Up by a touchdown, you risk Baker getting hurt or a sack fumble. Risk mitigation with the offensive line. I mean, actually both sides, but I personally would have been a little bit more aggressive than running it 3 times in a row.
Stan Glassman, run it. So they do T-pin their ears. So they don't pin their ears back rushing. Just ran too many times. Yep.
I'm curious. I've seen the fans kind of talk a little bit about Grizzard here, talking about his play calling, maybe not being fans of it. Leave your thoughts about what do you think of Josh Grizzard's play calling, because, you know, he's working with all the backup offensive linemen, Baker Mayfield not having time to throw, the running game not clicking. What are you thinking about his play calling?
Yeah, he's doing the best he can so far here. Again, banged up offensive line. You don't have Chris Godwin Jr. He's going to come back next week. That's going to be exciting to see if he does. But I think he's doing the most he can. You have all these penalties that are killing drives. If the penalties weren't occurring, I think you see a much better game at Josh Grizzard, but he can't control if the guy's holding or not. That's something that's out of the control of your coach.
And on the flip side, Defense is playing well. I mean, they only give up 6 points early, and they've been making stops here on 3rd down, 4th down. Riley Dixon, 35-yard punt. Man, he looked good first week. He was booming them, but since then it's been rough.
Quincy Williams for the Jets going to the locker room now. He was able to get up on his own. Everything looks fine there. -7 yards for the Jets here in the second quarter. 1st and 10, 45 seconds. They have no timeouts also.
Tarati eludes Vita Vea, gets upfield, slides to get the 1st down. The clock is still ticking. Just over 30 seconds left. We'll see how well he does. Spikes it. Jets might get in field goal range here.
28 seconds left, yeah. You got to get about 15, 20 yards to do so, but let's see, again, no timeouts. That really affects your ability to be more aggressive than you want to be. Yeah. Silent is your friend, of course, but 2nd and 10.
Right
Only
again.
1 first down.
He escapes, but there is an interception. Jamel Dean, he's made a scene. That's a pick 6.
Whoa,
can you believe it?
Jamel Dean, wow.
Oh my goodness. That is a huge turn of events. There is no flag. Instead, Jamel Dean, he's doing the row your boat.
Wow. And our own Josh Capo broke the news that he took a pay cut this year to stick around in Tampa. He's going to be a free agent next year. But, man, what a pick 6. What an amazing play. And also, before we move on, Jacob Parrish had a tremendous pressure there on Tyrod Taylor. If Jamel Dean didn't get that the interception, he was going to get the sack.
Yeah, Tyrod Taylor, he had to move at the last second. He didn't really have his feet in place. Threw it in harm's way. Jamel Dean, he cut in front of a pass. He held on to it. It took it back to the house.
Wow.
Absolute amazing play. That calls for a little celebration here. Big time interception. Huge momentum swing heading into the second half. Looked like a little curl route by Garrett Wilson along the left sideline. Jamel Dean, he just read him like a book.
And besides injuries, what's been the biggest thing, the biggest crutch for Jamel Dean? It's been not being able to catch these interceptions. And finally, it hits him right in the hands. He's able to bring it in and score the touchdown there for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Pick 6. You love to see that. Nikolai, Jamel Dean, woo! Ric Flair, woo! There we go.
Ric Flair.
Wow, what a play. It changes the game now here. 20-6, Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the lead.
Yeah, loving these fan reactions here by Jamel Dean. He always isn't like the guy Bucs fans like to think of, like to talk about, but he made a play there.
Louis,
and they are the first one to 20.
I said either Zion or Jamel Dean will have an interception this game. There we go. Jamel Dean got the pick 6. 2 takeaways so far today. Yeah, they had 0 takeaways. Now you got 2 takeaways. Sometimes they come in bunches. Jeff B.
I did not have a Dean pick 6 on my bingo card. I don't think anyone did really, but you know what happened? We see you, Dean. Pick 6 with Rondé in the house too. Needed that. Time to get Dean back his money. He's gonna be a free agent at the end of the year. He'll have a chance to get some money. Jets will kneel it out, and we are going into the second half.
And he had the funny quote for why he accepted a pay cut. He doesn't want to go somewhere like his rookie year and learn a new defense and learn a new city and all that. He just decides to stick it out here in Tampa. And we'll see what happens if he decides, is somebody going to pay him a lot of money, and does he want to learn a new defense, or does he stick around here in Tampa? But of course, he's a guy who's going to have Benjamin Morrison throughout the entire year competing with him for that outside starting corner position. But, he did something pretty good for himself there with that pick six. And he makes a case for why he should remain the starter on this team.
Yeah, definitely. That play earned him some money. But Daniel, just after 30 minutes of action, I want to get your overall thoughts on both the offense and the defense for the Bucs, how things have gone so far. I mean, they found a way to put 20 points up. What are your thoughts about it?
On the defense, having those good, stops, 4th and 1, that Hassan Reddick stop. But ultimately, the pick six caps it off. But on offense, I want to see them continue to get cleaner. The final drive for the offense, Josh Broussard played a little bit safe. We talked about that. He decided to run instead of being aggressive and pass down the field. But luckily, Jamel Dean got the touchdown there, so it saved Josh Broussard. He got the Buccaneers points anyways. And like he said here, nobody had that on a pick six by Jamel Dean on their bingo card. But ultimately, sloppy game, gritty, ugly game so far. But your Tampa Bay Buccaneers are leading 20-6 overall. You can't be happier if you're a Buccaneers fan, of course.
Yeah, and you mentioned it, like defensively, Jamel Dean with that pick six. You're paying a veteran player, even though he took a pay cut. I mean, he's an established guy. You want to see him make those kinds of plays, and he did. Antoine Winfield Jr., that sack fumble was huge and kind of switching things and flipping the field. And when you look at it, Benjamin Morrison, that tackle for loss that he had, Jacob Parrish with the sack, and then he had that pressure on the Dean interception. Vita Vea, he's kind of stepped up a little bit and forcing some pressure. Hassan Reddick, he had that tackle on that 4th down to turn the ball over. So the defense is really stepping up here. Really impressed by them. But then you've kind of seen Baker Mayfield, even though he's playing behind a real makeshift offensive line, he's done some things. First half, he's 11 of 14 for 117 yards and a touchdown. You just kind of want to see them now that they're playing with the 2-score lead. Control the ball with the run game a little bit. Bucky Irving, Rachaad White. We saw them go to the run at the end of the first half there. It didn't pan out, but they want to control the clock in the second half. So I think that's going to be a big point of emphasis, Daniel. But overall, I mean, first half, you'll take it, man.
Yeah, it wasn't pretty, but you'll take it. You'll take the Buccaneers in the lead there. Shaggy says $150 with that Dean pick.
Awesome.
Yeah. Chris Hobson says just win, baby, right? It doesn't matter how ugly it is. A win's a win.
It is. All counts the same in the win-loss column. Bucs DB's MVP so far. It's hard to argue with that. Secondary has really been, ball hawking. Todd Bowles said it all offseason. I want ball hawks. So what have they done? They've all showed out today.
And they blitz in Jacob Parrish, and he's gotten some good pressure on Tyrod Taylor also. These DBs have been the superstar of the show so far in the first half of the game.
And you've kind of seen the Bucs secondary. I mean, the first week they went up against Drake London. He was targeted 15 times. He only had 8 catches for about 55 yards. Last week, Nico Collins, he had that really nice touchdown, but outside of that, he was quiet. And then in this game, Garrett Wilson, the big-time wide receiver, really their only wide receiver, he only has 4 catches for 39 yards. So overall, again, the Bucs defense, they knew how to attack the Jets offense here. You limit Breece Hall, you limit Garrett Wilson, good things are going to happen. And even though Tyrod Taylor, he's managed to elude some pressure, he's still not finding a way to really get the ball down the field. I believe they only had 1 first down in that whole second quarter. Yeah. So as long as the Bucs don't beat themselves with the penalties, I mean, it's their game to lose.
And real quick, Hassan Reddick, he had the run stop. He's looked really good so far in this game. Yaya Diaby hasn't looked as good as he has, but Hassan Reddick has looked really good there. And then you said it, Vita Vea, he was the one who recovered that fumble, turning the ball over for Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tweez came around, he got the forced fumble. Man, this defense, the offense has been a bit sloppy, but this defense has been the star so far of this game.
Yes, they have. Louis, I love this new aggressive look for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on defense. I mean, Todd Bowles is getting into his blitzing bag a little bit. Yeah. I mean, he's sending everybody home, the exotic pressures. I mean, it's working. I mean, losing Kalijah Kancey up front was a big blow. They haven't really seen anything from Yaya Diaby yet, but they're still finding ways to get after the quarterback. So I commend them for that.
Yeah, Kalijah Kancey, he was getting good pressure, I believe, last week. He was getting the backfield. He was making some good plays against the run and the pass. But now he's out with a torn pectoral. And Ian Rappaport reports if the Buccaneers make a deep playoff push, he could return possibly, late in the season, second round of playoffs, third round of playoffs. But that is a positive thing. If the Buccaneers have a deep playoff run and they find themselves in the Super Bowl, you might get a guy like Elijah Cansey back on this team. So, that's a positive thing.
Yeah, be a big boost. And I mean, right now, it's an opportunity for Elijah Roberts, the rookie. I mean, he kind of reminds me of Elijah in the way that he's built, his pass rushing profile. I mean, he'll have an opportunity to get a lot of snaps as the season goes on. But, if he becomes the next thing to kind of replace Logan Hall, who's in a contract year, you get Elijah Cansey for that playoff push. I mean, that's a scary front if everything goes well.
Josh Capo was talking about this is like with that report. It's kind of like 2020 vibes when the Buccaneers were able to get Vita Vea back late in the playoffs, for their playoff push. But, just really positive thing. I want to see we haven't seen much of Elijah Roberts. Greg Gaines got the start over him. But, yeah, he's a very athletic. He was a very athletic guy at SMU. He would stand up sometimes on the edge and rush the passer from there. But really athletic rusher. I want to see him. Does he get reps throughout the second half of this game? And when he gets those reps, is he going to be like Jacob Parrish and Benjamin Morrison, make an impact for this defense?
Yeah. Just to kind of check in around the league, give you guys some scores because the Bucs aren't playing right now. The Colts are winning 20-3 or 20-6 over the Titans. Vikings are routing the Bengals 31-3 with Carson Wentz.
Wow.
The Steelers are beating the Patriots still 14-7. The Rams are winning 19-7 over the Eagles at halftime. The Commanders also in halftime 20-10 over the Raiders. Panthers still hold a 10-0 lead over the Falcons. And it's still 7-3 Jaguars over the Texans. To kind of look at some things a little bit more statistically, Tyrod Taylor, he's 10 of 16 for 55 yards, no touchdowns, and he has that interception. He's also tied with Breece Hall as the leading rusher. Tyrod Taylor has 5 carries for 22 yards. Breece Hall, 6 carries for 22 yards. We already talked about Garrett Wilson a little bit. The Bucs running game really needs to get going here. Bucky Irving, 9 carries for 13 yards. Rachaad White, 3 of 11. The leading wide receiver is Sterling Shepard, 2 receptions for 40 yards. Emeka Egbuka, 3 for 35. But Mike Evans, only 2 catches for 11 yards. You want to see Mike, he had the touchdown, but you want to see him get a little bit more involved on offense.
Yeah, and for Bucky Irving, 1.4 yards per carry. It's for some of these, it's not his fault at all because the defensive players for Jets are already back there by the time he gets the ball. But yeah, getting Mike Evans more involved here again. We talked about it. He's gone up against A.J. Terrell, Darius Stingley Jr., and Sauce Gardner. Not easy for him, but if Baker Mayfield gets some time, does he look Mike Evans' way? He had one drop earlier, it hit him right in the hands. When he looks his way towards Mike Evans needs to come down with those passes. But I believe he will. This
is an interesting thought here by KGH for life. Bucs should run straight into the D-line of the Jets. Stop trying to do zone runs. The Bucs backup offensive linemen are not getting it done. I mean, the strength, I think, of this offensive line right now is the tackles. The left tackle at Graham Barton. Right tackle Charlie Heck, he hasn't played too bad. I mean, the interior offensive line's given up several holding penalties. And there's this guy who's pretty good. His name is Quinnen Williams, the defensive tackle for the Jets. It's hard to run straight at him. I think the zone runs have worked. Had they not been called for penalties, they had a couple nice gains there.
So last week, that's what they decided to do. Josh Broussard run up the middle, but that was a weakness of the Texans defense with Mari Edwards and Sheldon.
Because they had 2 really good ends.
Yeah, that's not the weakness there when you have Quinnen Williams, and that's who you're going to run into.
That's a great point.
Yeah. We have also TB1009BT. He's watching, or she's watching from Thailand. So, again,
wow.
International. Yeah. That's cool. That's really awesome there.
Yeah, for sure. Appreciate you checking out our live stream, Computer Game Day. This has been fun, Daniel. I mean, we're just under 2 hours in, but, I haven't really had the chance to do game day much, and such a great opportunity to talk, go back and forth with you. It's been a crazy game to kind of go over and commentate.
Yeah. All these first few games have been insane, real gritty nail-biter games that would age any Buccaneers fan, no matter if you're in Thailand, Florida, or India, no matter where you are, you feel the effect of these games. But so far, they've been working in favor of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They came out, with the win so far. They're leading 20-6. It's been an very ugly game. But again, they're leading 20-6. It's a 14-point ball game there. And yeah, I've had a lot of fun here with you, Adam. I've always appreciated your work, your top 10 takeaways, all those kind of things. The Thursday show you do with Matt Matera. Just really excited to do this with you, man. You're a great guy, and I've been having a lot of fun just like you so far.
I appreciate that. That does remind me, there was a comment earlier from Mark. Can we get a slice top 2 at halftime? Opportunity for the offense and opportunity for the defense. So kind of talking about the Bucs offense here. I mean, it's been undisciplined, at the start with all the holding penalties. I think the offensive line, they haven't looked so great, and it makes me wonder kind of about the status of them going forward. I mean, with Cody Mauch out and, still waiting on Tristan Wirfs to arrive, kind of moving other guys around. It's a work in progress for sure. And then looking at the defense, I mean, Mark, you have to be happy with all the takeaways and the stops that the Bucs defense has gotten. Guys are stepping up in place of the offense, struggling to move the ball at times. So really happy with the defense. I think the offense are still ironing some things out, but also working with the circumstances.
I couldn't agree with you more. And again, we might finally get some very positive injury news with the possibility of Chris Godwin Jr. and Tristan Wirfs coming back next week. And if that's the case, especially with the Tristan Wirfs one, I believe he's the best offensive player, maybe the best player in general on this Tampa Bay Buccaneers roster. And you get him back, man, that's Baker Mayfield's bodyguard. He's a blindside protector. That is huge, not just in the pass game, but also in the run game as well. All pro at right tackle, all pro at left tackle as well. That is going to be a huge positive thing when they can get him back out there on the football field. He's very close.
Yeah. I see your point here, KGH for life. Bucs are struggling to cut off Quinnen Williams. That's why I suggested that. I mean, if they double team Quinnen Williams, they can find success running the ball up the middle of the field, but we'll see. We'll see how diverse Josh Grizzard gets with running the football.
Yeah, they brought in Dan Feeney from the Bills practice squad onto the active roster. Sua Peta is back on the practice squad as well. They signed back to. That's correct, right? I believe they worked. I know they worked him out. They brought him back to the practice squad. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, Sua Peta is on the practice squad. Okay, Feeney's on the active roster.
Yep.
Shaggy here, offensive line question. How long is Luke Gedeke out for? So the Bucs placed him on injured reserve. So that means a minimum of 4 games he's going to be out. So the realistic, earliest return would be week 7 against the Lions, which of course, like Tristan Wirfs with the Eagles, that's a really critical game. We'll see if he's ready for that with that foot injury. But right now it's looking like that's a realistic timeline, week 7, week 8.
You also don't want to make the mistake of rushing them back out there, rushing Tristan Wirfs back out there if they're not 100% or close enough where they feel comfortable, because we know last week Luke was out for 2 days in practice with that foot injury. He comes back in the game. He comes back Friday for practice, or it was Saturday because it's a Monday Night Football game. And he re-aggravates that foot injury, and now he's out for the next possibly 4 or 5 weeks. We'll see. But, you want him back out there, but you want to make sure you're smart with that decision also. The Buccaneers, if they start off 3-0, you're in a good shape where you don't necessarily – you want him back. You don't need to rush him back. The season's on the line already. They've started pretty well.
Yeah. I do want to give a shout out to our Pewter post-game podcast. So after Daniel and I's game day show, Scott and Matt Matera live from Raymond James Stadium, they're going to be talking about everything that they saw in person this afternoon. It's going to be great content. They're always really, really fun to listen to after the game, after talking to Baker Mayfield and Todd Bowles in the locker room and at the post-game presser. So be sure to check it out. It'll probably be around 4:45, 5 o'clock-ish. And hopefully it's a Victory Monday. It's trending that way. Last week it was a Victory Tuesday, so.
Yeah, hopefully a Victory Monday. Looks so far like we might get there to Victory Monday. Start off 3-0 for the first time since 2005. We said a bigger broadcast, 20 years. Q's 44 and quiet. Yep, no tight ends involved so far. That's something that we got to see. Look at the heat index there. Wow, looks like about 130 on the football field. That is insane. The Buccaneers practice in that every day. The New York Jets don't. That's one of their advantages.
Definitely. It's like in NASCAR when on the track temperature is really hot. I mean, it's the same thing out here on the field. Those guys are in pads, they're going at it.
There's no dome or anything, straight in the heat and the sun. All right, Bucs ball, we're back here.
A little bit of an injury update. Defensive back Christian Isian is out of the game. So something to monitor going forward. Defensive back, we haven't really talked about much, but still a versatile piece here.
Yeah, Christian is in his rookie year playing nickel. He can play any of the two safety positions. If you need him at outside corner, he can play outside corner too. So it's always good to have a very versatile piece like that. And whenever he's in the game, there's no drop off, really. You know you're going to get good production from him. He's going to help you survive the game. Good run by Bucky Irving there.
You're also going to get production out of him too.
Yeah. The
First play of the second half here. Let's see, had Payne Durham lining up next to Graham Barton. That kind of created a hole on the left side here. You saw Bucky Irving take advantage. That was one thing that Daniel and I mentioned at, second half, you want to control the time of possession. That's one way to do it, ripping off a chunk run.
Bit of a counter there. Looked like it was going to go right, cuts back left, gets a very positive game, about 14, maybe 15 yards. Really good stuff. First play, like you mentioned, of the drive as well.
And here we go. Another first down run. Only a couple of yards this time. Bucky Irving met Quinnen Williams, about a gain of 3.
Emeka Buka in motion there. They had the pop pass to him in week number 2. Let's see. Maybe they get creative and do something fun with Emeka Buka when he comes in on these motions for one of these plays. Josh Brizard was with Mike McDaniels in Miami for a few years, and he's very creative with these motions with Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill. He gets them the football.
Yeah, that's a great point. And now Josh Brizard has 2 talented wide receivers to work with of his own. So
yeah, Emeka Buka back in motion there.
Yeah, finds Bucky Irving in motion to the right, little dump off pass. That's been popular behind the line of scrimmage. Just getting the ball in their hands, trying to make things happen. That was a 4-yard gain, so it's 3rd and 2 now. Again, big shout out to all the Pewter people watching. It's been a great show so far. Really appreciate all your interaction in the comments section. It always makes it fun.
Always fun. We love seeing guys. Stan Glassman, Q's44, always showing up. We love your guys' conversations here, your comments, your takes on what's going on the football field. 3rd and 2 for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Big 3rd down play here.
Baker giving a little time. Up the middle. First down. Tampa Bay.
Trying to see the rookie, Buka.
Yeah, Buka. 11 yards. I mean, Barton, Klein, they held up well on the left side. Baker had just enough time.
I'm surprised there was no holding there on Barton. Kind of got wrapped around.
Yeah.
Luckily, no flag.
Rashad White in for Bucky Irving here. Gets a nice gain for a first down run.
Yeah.
You mentioned the penalties.
Oh, there we go.
Called for one.
It was inevitable. It was going to happen at some point, right, Adam?
Yeah.
Offense.
It's going to be Elijah Klein. So that for Klein, that's his 2nd offensive holding penalty. Haggard's had 2. It's a hard process, being elevated and starting in an NFL game for Haggard and Klein. It's their first NFL game, but, again, these offensive holding penalties have been killing them.
Yeah, undisciplined football there. It's offensive linemen throughout high school, college, you know not to hold. So that's something that you've been taught throughout your entire time playing offensive line. And I know they have a tough challenge here going up against Quinnen Williams, but just can't hold. First and 20 now for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
A little dump off again to Bucky Irving. That's been the bread and butter.
Good blocking there by Kate Otten and Sterling Shepard.
Yes, great point here. Ben Bredesen's name has not been called, and I don't think it's talked about. I mean, he talked about adjusting to center in his press conference this week, and he's been so good at it. Like, no errant snaps, knock on wood, but he's just held up, not called for penalties, gets along with Baker great.
Robert Hainsey was a true backup center on this team. He's with the Jacksonville Jaguars now. He's having a pretty good season for himself.
Yeah.
But Elijah Klein was taking those second string center snaps in the preseason, had some, mix up, had some bad snaps there. But yeah, Ben Bredesen has been doing really good so far playing center.
Back-to-back touches for Bucky Irving.
Sure.
Set up a 3rd and 9 here. And you want to see him get probably 5 to 10 more yards to get in the field goal range.
Yeah, obvious passing situation is hope that the offensive line can hold up so that Baker Mayfield has time to throw and execute this play here. You know, Josh Broussard wanted to add a vertical passing element to this offense, but when you have this banged-up makeshift offensive line, you can't really do that.
No. You're seeing that Baker, he eludes pressure. He finds a way.
Wow.
He gets a first down.
There we go. Whoa. He's been making very great plays with his legs, keeping drives alive. We saw that last week with a long 4th and 10. Man, look at Baker Mayfield. D'Amico Ryans called him a squirrel. He's a squirrel. He runs around.
He is.
He's hard to get down on the football field. Man.
He tucks and runs like a running back. Ow. He had a couple big runs last week that helped the Bucs drive down the field, and he's doing it again here.
Look at that. That's your QB1. That's your franchise quarterback. Always keeping the game alive. And a drive alive in that case. 1st and 10 now. Wow.
Bucky Irving is stopped in the backfield for a loss there. Stan Glassman. Baker has a big one every game.
Yeah, he does.
Baker is a superhero. Get this man a cape. And he might be baking.
Let Baker bake. My Lord, I'm hating Riz Ashley.
Mayday Mayfield. All right, here we go. 2nd and 12 from the 35. You got Mike on the bottom going up against Sauce Gardner. Is he going to sauce him up? Oh, it's thrown his way, and he does. He gets the first down. Nice catch there.
There we go.
Contested grab. Let's watch this replay here. Mike against Sauce. Just superb. I mean, it doesn't get better than that when it comes to body control.
Yeah.
And just route savvy. No matter what, he finds a way.
Throughout his entire career, he's been able to go against the top cornerbacks, and it hasn't really affected him much. I remember, really early on in his career, going against the Legion of Boom, Richard Sherman. He was going one-on-one. He was still able to have success in that game. It doesn't matter really who you put him up against. They might minimize his impact a bit, but he's still going to get some very positive plays, some nice plays like he just did there against Sauce Gardner. $30 million man, the highest paid corner in the league.
Yeah. And that was actually his first catch against Sauce in this one.
8 rounds, 2 targets. Yep, we're getting at Sauce.
Bucky Irving had a 1-yard run on the last play. He's up to 15 carries for 38 yards. So still, even with that big run, only 2.5 yards a carry.
Shaggy says, where's the play action at?
Ooh. Baker tried to find Mike down the field with Sauce on him, but incomplete. It's going to be 3rd and 9.
Again, you're in
Looks
field
like
goal
Mike had a chance, and it kind of went through his hands.
Yeah.
Yeah, Stan Glassman. Evans should have had that one.
Yeah, that's 2 this game that hit him in the hands, and he just didn't come down with it. Again, you're in field goal range, but I know Bucs fans don't want to see Chase McLaughlin come out there and score 3 points. They want to see 7 points in total get put on that scoreboard, make it a 27-6 game. Baker Mayfield empty, 39.
He finds Emeka Ibuka.
First down, keep the chains moving.
Big first down conversion there. And the Bucs, Daniel, they're controlling the ball in the second half. This is exactly what we wanted to see. Moving the ball down the field and taking up a lot of time. About half the third quarter now.
And the offensive line held up there. Clean pocket for Baker Mayfield. Look at the rookie. A rookie of the year candidate, in my opinion. Even when Chris Godwin comes back, I think he's going to get his fair share of targets.
They're going to find a way.
Yeah.
Bucky again, stopped at the line of scrimmage by Quinnen Williams. I mean, we've mentioned his name a lot for a defensive tackle. He has 5 tackles here.
There is nothing Bucky Irving could do there. There's no way he can see it.
That Jets defense, like playing it in the heat and on this long drive, they have to be tired, man.
Yeah. Have to be gassed here, man. Second goal now. Baker Mayfield so far 15 and 19 of his pass attempts, 160 yards, 1 touchdown. Can you make that 2 touchdowns here?
Bucky is brought down again. Brandon Stevens, a corner for them, making the tackle for loss. It's going to be 3rd and goal.
They sniffed it out there. Nothing Bucky Irving could do. 3 defenders right there on him.
And I wonder, Bucky Irving, he's gotten the ball so many times, how much stamina he has. Should they maybe go Rashad White or even Sean Tucker? You haven't really seen Sean at all this game.
Hughes 44 would love that if he put Sean Tucker in the game.
Yeah, he's actually clamoring for Rashad, so he's unbiased.
Yeah, look at that, yeah.
Here we go, 3rd and goal. Baker rolls out to the left. Pass is underthrown for Sterling Shepard. It's going to be 4th and goal. Chase McLaughlin will come out.
He's made the 54. Chase has. He made the 33. This one is pretty close. This one should be an easy one for him. And if he makes this one, I feel confident with him going forward. He's back to normal. He's back to regular Chase Money McLaughlin that we know and love here in Tampa.
So it's going to be a 28-yard field goal attempt. It is up and it is good.
There we go.
It's going to be 23-6. Tampa Bay over New York. After putting together a 16-play, 67-yard drive that took 9 minutes and 9 seconds off the clock. So, Daniel, really successful drive for the offense. Although it didn't end in 7 points, you're extending that lead, 17 points now. It's going to be really hard for New York to make any semblance of a comeback with a backup quarterback and with Tyrod also being pressured so heavily.
So, Adam, you're up 23-6. Do you put Teddy Bridgewater in there? We saw Baker Mayfield get his hand hit a little earlier. He wants to stay in the game. He's the ultimate fighter, ultimate competitor. But is right now a good time to maybe take him out, put Teddy Bridgewater in, make sure your quarterback makes it out healthy behind this makeshift offensive line? What's your thoughts on that?
That's a great question. One I want to hear all the Pewter people in the comments kind of talk about for sure. It's going to be debatable. What I would say to that is, there's still a few minutes left in the 3rd quarter, but if it's the 4th quarter, Daniel, and they have a 17-point lead, if it extends out any further, it's not the worst idea to put Teddy Bridgewater in. Preserve him. You want to preserve everyone for the Eagles game.
Yeah.
You've already seen his hand. He's been shaking it. It's sore. Doesn't hurt.
Jaggy here says, you guys are responding here too now. Scott Federico, too soon. Shaggy says, no Teddy until the 4th.
One more score before we pull Bake. Yeah, I could see that. If they score another field goal, enter the 4th quarter, I wouldn't blame them at all.
Yeah. Stan Glassman, 17 points up is huge. That 3 was important. It definitely was here. He says it's
one more score. Yeah, McLaughlin is feeling it again. He's money. Made 3 field goals. That's been huge. Stan, it's Teddy Two Gloves time. So I'm in the preseason. He found a way to connect with Bucky, connect with Emeka Egbuka for touchdowns. He won that backup 2 job. We might see him in the creamsicle uniforms.
Besides the hospital ball to Jalen McMillan, I think he did pretty well overall, besides that one play, but that can happen to any quarterback. But maybe it's Teddy Two Gloves time. We'll see. But Baker Mayfield again, you're gonna have to strap him down with duct tape to get him off, to stay off the football field. He's not gonna want to sit down. But look at all the former Buccaneers greats: Warren Sapp out there, Bruce Arians,
Gavin Joseph, Donald Penn. I want to say there's supposed to be 100 former players, coaches, and executives there. You got Rondé in the booth talking to Kenny Albert and Jonathan Vilma. Rondé, it's awesome to see him still on the WFLA. He does his own podcast.
The Rondé Barber.
Got Cat here. 4 curses we must break. Week 3. Original unis, the backup quarterback, and the creamsicle. So far, they're checking all the boxes.
Yeah.
On the kickoff, there was a flag.
The primetime curse also. They broke that last week with the Monday Night Football.
Yes.
Winning for the first time against the Houston Texans since 2003.
Whew. That was like their first year in the NFL. Pretty close.
They came in 2002, so it's second year, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so the Bucs kicked it off. There was a return to the 33, but there was also a 5-yard penalty.
Jets ball at the 28 here. Kenny Albert with the binoculars. I like that. Nowhere to go for Hall here.
Yeah. Yeah, Hall stopped for 1 yard. Levante David and Hassan Reddick were there for the tackle.
Also, Jam 32. Baker ain't coming out. That's no. He's the ultimate fighter. But if I'm Todd Bowles, I'm talking to him. We want to keep him safe for that Week 4 matchup against the Eagles. And for the remainder of the season, of course, you don't want him to suffer an injury if he doesn't need to be out there.
Definitely. I mean, you've seen across the league. I mean, 5 teams are rolling out backup quarterbacks already. I mean, some big names, too. I mean, Joe Burrow, Jaden Daniels. Like, you don't want to see Baker on that list at all.
No. The Cincinnati Bengals versus the Vikings. That's 2 backup quarterbacks going up against each other because their QB1s are already out in week number 3.
Yeah.
I love Keys 44 here. Take Bake's helmet away from him.
Then he can't go out there. He might go out without the helmet.
Just say it's missing. Oh, yeah, he might actually do that.
He's the guy. But here we go. Tyrod Taylor, 3rd and 4. Threw to his right, got hit as he threw. Completed to Garrett Wilson with Zion McCollum on him to move the chains.
Took a big hit there as well, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's been a slight decrease in all the penalties called here. I mean, 6 for the Jets, 11 for the Buccaneers, but not on the historic pace we were on earlier. First and 10. Braylon Allen up the middle. Gets a few. Count that as 4 yards.
4 yards, yep. 2nd and 6 here. And kudos to this Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense. They got 2 turnovers already, holding the Jets to only 6 points. They've done pretty good so far.
Yeah.
The pressures as well, like you said, the exotic pressures. Blitzing at Antoine Winfield Jr., getting Jacob Parrish in there a few times as well.
Then Jamel Dean.
Yeah. You can forget the Jamel Dean pick 6. Working against Garrett Wilson. They're really their only real wide receiver, like we talked about also.
Speaking of Garrett Wilson, the Jets ran something the Bucs offense has kind of been doing. The pass behind the line of scrimmage. Picks up 4, so you're looking at a 3rd and 2 here. Jason Light watching the game from the sidelines, as usual. I mean, you don't see many general managers do that. And the Jets are only 2 of 8 on 3rd down today.
Yeah, not a good conversion there. Bucs 4 to 10 on the opposite end. 3rd and 2. I think even if you don't make it, I think if I'm that coach, I'm being a little bit aggressive because you're down 6:23. If they don't get the 3rd down here, I would go for it. You're about midfield.
Yeah.
See what they do.
Tyrod is chased by Yaya Diaby. Looked like Levante David almost wrapped him up. Instead, he scrambled and got the 1st down.
We don't have to think about going on 4th down. Yep, Tyrod Taylor's able to make that play with his legs.
Come on, LVD, get him down. So close. He had both hands on him.
But, yeah, just passed him. There we go.
Two minutes left in the 3rd quarter. Yeah, Tyrod Taylor, 26 dropbacks. He's been knocked down 6 times, sacked twice.
Gain of 1 there, I believe, if he was able to get past, but 2nd
gain of 1. And Daniel again. I mean, the Bucs have faced Bijan Robinson week 1, Nick Chubb in week 2. I mean, Breece Hall in week 3, and they've stuffed him. 9 carries for 21 yards. Nobody talks about this Bucs run defense in the league.
Yeah, the Buccaneers communication team put out since 2019, they've been the best team against the run. Yards per carry allowed, rushing yards per game allowed, all that. The Buccaneers underneath Todd Bowles when he was a DC in 2019 as a head coach moving forward after that. They've been able to stop the run. You see it here today. Brees Hall, again, he's explosive. He's a home run threat. But they've been able to stop him for the most part.
Yeah, really the latest run was Anthony Nelson. Stopped him for a 3-yard loss. So 3rd and 12 here. Just under a minute left in the third quarter. Getting closer to, a victory Monday maybe.
Yeah.
It's going to be a big stop here. That's an understatement. Rod Taylor drops back, has an open wide receiver, but they drop it.
Ooh.
Had a big chance there at a big game.
Oh,
that was former Buccaneer
Tyler Johnson.
Yep, Tyler Johnson.
With the drop. He made some incredible clutch catches in the Buccaneers Super Bowl run, but doesn't
make one there though.
Nope. Last week it was Justin Watson. This week, Tyler Johnson. They just can't come down with the grab there. That's a good thing for all the Buccaneers fans out there. Maybe he's giving the Buccaneers fans, one final, thank you, one final goodbye for that Super Bowl ring that he has.
Yeah.
The drop there. 4th and 12. They're going for it.
12. Pass is complete, but he is well short of the first down, so that's going to be Bucs ball at the end of the third quarter. Another huge stop.
That's good. I'm interested to see, is Baker Mayfield going to be out there? It's going to be Teddy Bridgewater. We talked about it. Baker Mayfield, he's such a fighter. He's not going to want to be out of this game.
They panned some Jets fans in the crowd, and they're going to be sunburnt, and they're going to be dealing with that loss. So,
not good for them. Very sad flight back to New York or New Jersey in their case. Q's 44. He's clamoring for him. Tucker time, please.
You might get your chance here, and that's Scott Federico. I could live with Bridgewater now.
Yep.
I could too. We'll see what the Bucs decide to do.
Yeah, KG's first
wife. Yep. Bucs having inconsistent pressure with the 4-man pass rush. I agree, and it's kind of the second game in a row that's happened, but what they've been able to do outside of that, manufacturing pressure in some different exotic ways. I mean, that's Todd Bowles' specialty. And even though you don't have Kalijah Kancey, you put Greg Gaines in there a lot. He's not a real pass rusher. Yaya Diaby isn't getting home, but they're still finding ways.
I've been a bit disappointed with Yaya Diaby. He had 7.5 sacks his rookie year, 4.5 sacks last year. Just hasn't been able to generate pressure. He lost containment there, like you saw. But just I've said this before. He's like if you were to create an edge rusher in a lab, man, he would look like Yaya Diaby. If you create the ultimate player on Madden, he looks like Yaya Diaby for an edge rusher. But it hasn't panned out so far. And again, we're only 3 weeks into the season. You don't want to overreact by any means. But you just want to see him get more pressure on the quarterback. They lost David Walker Jr. He's going to be a big part of this defense. But they lost him in the third day of training camp to a torn ACL. And behind him, you had Chris Braswell, who, again, is another, I would say, hasn't lived up to his second round, selection there. And you have Anthony Nelson. You know where you're going to get Anthony Nelson. The floor and the ceiling is pretty much the same. But you just want to see Yaya Diaby. He's a star. You want to see him get more sack production. Again, he had the sack week 1, but it was taken away by Jamel Dean. But he hasn't done much, in my opinion. I want to see him step up his game.
Yeah, he's a guy on defense I want to see step up most, really. I mean, You've seen everybody else in this game, take that next step forward. But I know Scott and Matt were kind of talking in the Pewter pregame show about Yaya Diaby going up against Olu Fashanu, and he just hasn't done much. And these are guys that, he has the talent to put sacks up there, get tackles for loss, and it's just not coming.
No, he's going to be again, he's, like you said, a young left tackle there with Fashanu. Second year in the league.
Now we got Rashad White as the Bucs are back out on offense to end the third quarter. He gets a nice little chunk gain, 6 yards. That's going to do it. We're going to go into the fourth quarter now. Bucs are winning 23-6.
Yeah, time's going to run out here. There we go. We're
Take that ticker a little bit. Yeah. There we go. And before the fourth quarter gets underway, I just want to, give a shout out to Walk-Ons, our sponsor. For all the 4:00 games, you got the Sunday night game. You could still head on over to Walk-Ons. They got 3 Tampa Bay area locations in Wesley Chapel, Midtown Tampa. I've been there a couple times. We had our Pewter meet and greet there back in June, which is a lot of fun with Zion McCollum, Mike Greenberg, and also in Lakeland. So whether it's all the big screens that they have, a great food menu, and their drinks, I mean, you can't go wrong. They have their kickoff cocktails, Players Punch, Strawberry Mule, and Walk-Ons Whiskey Sour. So if you're looking for somewhere to go tonight, be sure to head on over to Walk-Ons.
Especially that Midtown location. I love Midtown Tampa.
Yeah.
So beautiful.
It's a great area.
Stadium also. So if you're at the stadium, if you live around the stadium, go head over to Walk-Ons right after this game ends, man. 23-6, Bucs fans. How do you feel? You can feel pretty. Anything can happen. Anything can happen. It's a 6-minute game, but how do you guys feel right now? How happy are you guys? How happy? How excited are you? They could go possibly 3-0 here, heading into the Eagles game with, maybe Tristan Wirfs and Chris Godwin back again. We got to see throughout the week how they progress.
And I mean, you take into account all the injuries, Daniel, and you'd think that the sky is falling a little bit. But if you would have told me before the season starts that the Bucs, I mean, all likelihood are going to be 3-0 to start the year, I mean, you would have taken that with all the players on the field. But the fact that they're doing it with these backup players, I mean, that's a testament to the coaching of Todd Bowles. I mean, Josh Grizzard to an extent. I mean, Baker Mayfield still had an efficient game. There's definitely kinks to work out on both sides of the football. But man, I'm impressed because 3-0, they faced 3 really good teams, and now they're going up against the Eagles in week 4. I mean, things are trending up.
They definitely are. And I don't want to jinx it for Bucs fans, but I have the Buccaneers going 5-0 to start off the season, the first loss against the San Francisco 49ers, because Kyle Shanahan has kind of had the better of Todd Bowles throughout the past few years. But I don't want to jinx it. So let's see what happens.
Yeah. And as Mark says, ever since the Manning Monday night comeback and never relax till it's over, it was a little bit before my time, but I want to say it was 2002, 2003 that I remember Scott, he's told me that he wrote his whole Bucs column just for the Colts to come back, and then he had to scrap it, rewrite it. That was Tony Dungy, I think, coming back to Tampa. So you never know what can happen, but as Shaggy says, in light we trust.
Yep. And Jason Light, guy who I don't think gets enough credit around the National Football League and for the media. He's one of the better GMs in this league. Him and Howie Roseman are, but I'd like to see him get more credit on a national stage.
Yeah.
Run by Rachaad White, that's going to come out to negative yardage here.
Goes nowhere, -5. So the run game just ain't up to par in this one.
3rd and 9 for the Buccaneers. Naresh says, Daniel, I have the Bucs' first loss against the Seattle Seahawks, actually. Yeah, it's going to be a tough game, too. The Buccaneers are going all the way to Seattle, Washington, across the country. That's going to be a really interesting game. And both teams are wearing their throwback jerseys because both teams are wearing their 50th. As they're celebrating their 50th season. We're going to play here 3rd and 9, but incompletion there. 4th and 9. Riley Dixon can come out.
That was right in the breadbasket, right in the number 2 of Emeka Egbuka, but he dropped it. So Riley Dixon, he needs some redemption. None of his punts have gone far in this one. See what he can do. Try to pin the Jets back. Make it even harder to drive down the field. That is a nice punt, actually. Went to the end zone. So that's going to be a touchback.
Yeah, bad balance there.
Yeah. It looked good. But.
And I really liked when I got to see him out there in training camp. He has he has a big leg. You hear it as soon as it comes off.
Yeah.
Boom, you hear it. But just fast for you, he had the block. And part of it, he holds on for a little bit too long, maybe. But the protection didn't hold up last week for that block. But so far, besides that, kicking had that bounce, but he hasn't done too good so far in the punting game. Sashley says, yep, it will be ugly. Hopefully, Tristan is back.
They'll need him.
Yeah.
All the reinforcements, have the cavalry come, because they're going to need it up against the Eagles. Checking in on the Eagles, they are They're losing still to the Rams, but it's 26-21.
Much closer game there. Yeah.
Vikings 41-3 over the Bengals. Let's see. Colts 34-13 over the Titans. Packers are shutting out the Browns 10-0. The Panthers are shutting out the Falcons in surprising fashion.
Oh, wow.
20-0 so far. Michael Penix, no touchdowns, 2 interceptions. So the Falcons, before the season, everybody was talking about, them still being the biggest threat to the Bucs in this division. But Daniel, with the Bucs, if they start the season 3-0, let's say, and the Falcons lose to the Panthers, the Panthers are going to be 1-2. I mean, there's nobody in this division that's really a threat.
No, they're going to have such a nice lead. Now, of course, every season the Bucs have kind of gone through this kind of midseason lull where, other teams are able to catch up in the NFC South. But, really good start. If you're able to go 3-0, if you go 4-0 next week against the Eagles, it's going to be really hard. But, man, you have such a good lead over the Falcons, over the Panthers. I don't think the Saints are going to do much at all this year.
No,
they're going to be competing for the first overall selection in the draft, probably. That's what, their future looks like. But, yeah. Surprising that the Panthers are able to be shutting out the Falcons right now. And the Falcons are a talented team.
They are.
Going into week number 1, doing the deep dive on them, they have a lot of talent on both sides. They're a young team, but they have so much talent on both sides of the offense and defense. They got their kicker situation, fixed for the most part with Romo, and that's kicker now. And Younghoe Koo, he's moved on. They moved on from him, but they're a young, promising team. But so far this season, it might start off 1-2.
And Raheem Morris, maybe on that hot seat too.
Yeah.
In Atlanta.
Former Buccaneers head coach. Jan Rodgers says, put in Teddy. We'll see when the Buccaneers come back out on offense.
For now, it's Tyrod Taylor back out there. A little play action. Rolls out, scrambles, has a few yards to find. Say about 7.
Yep.
Yeah, I see some people in the comments here talking about the drops by the wide receivers. So, I mean, that's 2 for Mike Evans. Emeka had that 1 on 3rd down. Not what you want to see, especially from your top guys, when you kind of need every single pass to be completed.
Like you said, Baker Mayfield put her right in the number, right in the 2 for Emeka Buka. Just couldn't come down with it. Mike Evans had 2 drops, of course.
On 2nd and 4, Tyrod Taylor finds rookie tight end, son of Jason Taylor, who's also at the game for a 1st down.
Yeah. His uncle is Zach Taylor. Both his dad and his uncle, Hall of Famers.
Yeah.
Yep, Eagles scored a touchdown, 21-26, as he stated.
Jacob Parrish wraps up Garrett Wilson along the right sideline after he completed a pass. Oh, sorry, that was Garrett
Wilson, yep.
Yeah, Garrett Wilson. So 2nd and 1. Jets going no huddle here. They need every second on that clock.
So the structure of this game is very similar to last week with the Texans. You have, again, 2 defensive-minded head coaches and 2 offensive coordinators who are inexperienced. Both Tanner Engstrand for the Jets and Josh Broussard. This is their 3rd time ever calling plays in the NFL. And Tanner Engstrand talked about he called plays in the XFL when he was the offensive coordinator, but that was only 5 games, and he shared play calling duties. And before that, he was at the University of San Diego and called plays at the college level, but it doesn't compete. It's not the same, of course, as calling plays in the NFL. So far, Josh Broussard, even with all the offensive line injuries, he's been able to call a better game, I would say, than Tanner Engstrand. Tanner Engstrand, a guy also who the Buccaneers brought in for an interview in 2024 when Dave Canales went off to become the head coach of the Carolina Panthers. And they decided to go with Liam Cohen. We know how that worked out. But first down
it
there.
It did work out with Liam Cohen, at least.
Yeah.
So back-to-back plays after the Wilson play. Breece Hall, he was found up the middle for 9 yards. Then Tyrod Taylor, he found the other running back, Braylon Allen, for 12 yards. So the Jets are steadily moving the ball down the field here, getting those chunk plays. Let's see if the defense can, bend but not break.
Allen right up the middle again, gets the 1st down.
And it is kind of unfortunate. And this one I have noticed, Levante David, he has missed tackles, not just once, not just twice, several times.
Yeah.
Not a good day for the 35-year-old.
He's been phenomenal for the Buccaneers throughout his reign here. But this might be, Bucs fans, we love him. All followers of this team love him, but this might be his last season in the league. And hopefully he doesn't take too far of a step backwards this year. And the age, father time gets to everybody, and you hope it doesn't get too long to David this season.
Yeah,
but good run up the middle by Allen.
The Jets are moving 7 plays, 57 yards. They're ripping off chunk play after chunk play. Defense has no answers. Elijah Roberts, he's chasing down Tyrod Taylor. Doesn't matter. He finds Tyler Johnson. So consecutively, the past few plays, 12 yards, 9 yards, 8 yards, 12 yards. I mean, they're moving. As Virgin Boy says here, let's play soft zone all the way down the field. That's kind of what they're doing.
Yeah. Bend but don't break defense is what they're going to be playing here, the soft zone. Elijah Roberts out there on the field. I want to keep an eye on him.
Oh, a drop. Breece Hall. Chris Braswell in coverage.
Second and 10. You got 10 minutes and 16 seconds left in this game. This game isn't like the first 2 weeks where we're waiting for the final 2 seconds to see who scores. We kind of know, you don't want to jinx anything for Bucs fans here, but you kind of get the idea of where this game is going. Again, anything can happen.
Hopefully, yeah.
What's exciting for football, this sport.
On 2nd and 10, Tyrod Taylor drops back, finds Garrett Wilson up the middle for a touchdown. So you're looking at a 23-13 game incoming. The Jets really had no problem moving the ball down the field, Daniel. It was, Breece Hall, Braylon Allen. They had chunk runs. Tyrod Taylor had no problem finding whatever receiver he wanted to. And suddenly, after a quick drive, Baker's staying in now. He's not being taken out. But
it's still a 2-possession game. You got to score the touchdown and field goal after this, if the Jets get the ball back. But if I'm Josh Trezor and Baker Mayfield, you want to rely still on the run game, but you want to be able to get first downs, keep the chains moving, waste as much time as you possibly can, and don't allow the Jets to have a comeback. I don't think it's going to happen, but, you just want to waste as much time as you possibly can when you get the ball back here next. Run the clock.
That was kind of a reversion of the defense that we've seen, not only so far, but really this season. The Bucs really played no coverage, let the Jets do whatever they wanted, dinked and dunked their way down the field. And as Stan Glassman says, it did look very easy.
It was easy. You got to keep your foot on the gas. You can't just, backpedal a little bit. You got to keep your foot on the gas, all gas, no brakes here. Closed out this game.
Yeah, JB easy. They love the drama of the win under pressure. They were feeling no pressure. They're like, let's turn it up a little bit. Oh, yeah. Baker told the defense to let them score so he doesn't get pulled.
He wants to stick in the game, yep.
Agree with you here. Bucs taking their foot off the gas. They better wake up.
Yeah.
Find some energy. It's 3:30 in the afternoon in Tampa Bay. Guys have played 3/4 of the game, but it's not over yet.
Mm-hmm. Foot on the gas, all gas, no brakes. Don't play any soft zone. Continue to play tight. Have tight coverage. Don't make it easy for Tyrod Taylor and the Jets, because then you can get yourself in a lot of trouble. Because then you make this a close game in the final few seconds, like we've seen in week number 1 and week number 2. You want to make sure you have a comfortable lead. And let's see what the offense does. Again, if they go out there and score again, then it's a 3-possession game. And it's pretty close out here. Pretty much you close it out. But again, no matter what, waste as much time as you can. But you can only do that if you're able to move the chains consistently, moving forward here.
Yeah. And so for the Bucs being back out on offense in just a moment, it's going to be up to Baker Mayfield, to continue to control the clock, take it down for the Jets so they aren't able to come back. And you're hoping Bucky Irving, he's able to, get hyped again, rip off some big runs like the Jets just did. So some great pictures of Bucky Irving rocking those creamsicle throwback uniforms again. Just the best fashion matchup in the NFL this week. Sterling Shepard picture there.
Yeah, he doesn't care. He said this week he doesn't care what he's wearing out there. He just wants to go out there and win. Of course, it's all about the football game. But I don't think anybody can deny these are very, very nice jerseys. And Adam, in your opinion, are they the best throwback jerseys in the league?
I would say so. Yeah, I definitely like the white. Looks more cleaner than the orange, in my opinion. You can rock it and match as well if you're getting that white creamsicle jersey. Get some nice white shoes. You're rocking.
I agree with
Cody
you. It's better
P.
than Chris Skill.
Yeah. Is it your favorite jersey?
I would say, yeah, those and the Chargers, the navy blue ones. Even the Washington Commanders, the Super Bowl era runs, those look nice too. But the Minnesota Vikings have very nice jerseys as well, those throwbacks. We got a super chat here by Geist85. Thank you.
Yeah. When do they realize LVD is too old? I mean, you're kind of seeing that on display in this one. And right now, it's hard because you still trust him more than Servassier Dennis. I mean, Servassier has given up some big plays. You know that Levante, he's such a smart player, and he might have lost half a step, but I mean, you still want to count on him and not turn to, I mean, who else do you have? John Bullock, Deion Jones. Yeah. I mean, he might be too old, but it's also probably his last ride.
Yep. And every season he's been taking these 1 year contract, just seeing, does he want to play? Does he want to continue? Yeah, he has taken a bit of a step backwards in terms of overall speed, but he still has, that mentality. I would like to see the Buccaneers, if it's possible, if he wants to remain around the game, make him a coach in some aspect, keep him around this team, because he has so much knowledge. He's one of the smartest linebackers in this league, if not the smartest linebacker. And him and Bobby Wagner have always been competing throughout their career in terms of stats and all those things. And Bobby Wagner edges him over with the Pro Bowls and all those things. But Levante David has had an incredible career for himself. And look at this boomer-to-boomer connection down the field to Sterling Shepard. Baker Mayfield isn't getting off the field.
You're talking about stats. And Sterling Shepard adds to his with a 20-yard catch there. And that was a beautiful pass. They showed the slow motion of Baker throwing on the run. Find Sterling Shepard. We got a little Bucky run here. He goes to the right side, has a nice block, and he gets the first down, 11 yards. So the Bucs are, responding pretty well here.
Great run. 2 back-to-back first downs there.
And I'm going to rely on Tanner for the update. Kirk Cousins is on the field in Carolina, 27-0. Oh, boy. That's not a good development if you're Atlanta. And going forward, is Michael Penix going to be the guy?
Wow. That is insane. Tanner, just confirm, is that an injury or is that a benching situation? I liked what I saw from Michael Penix Jr. when I was doing my deep dive on the Atlanta Falcons week number 1, but and he had these struggles, and I don't know what's going on right now in the Carolina Panthers game, but if that
Penix is benched.
Yeah, that's a bench. Okay. Wow.
Yeah, he did look like the long-term guy, but you got to wonder now. And right now for the Bucs, Bucky Irving just had a 3-yard run down to the New York Jets' 39-yard line, so they're almost within scoring range again.
Talk about the Michael Penix situation. So, you want to show confidence in your young quarterback. And if you bench him, that's a big, this is a mental game part of it. And if you bench him, man, what does that do to him mentally? We got to see.
I mean, Bryce Young took it well when he was benched, for Andy Dalton.
Yeah.
And he responded and played better in the second half. But obviously you want Penix to get those reps because he's already like 26 years old, something like that, older guy, 8th overall pick. You want to see him on the field.
And this is good for all the Bucs fans out there with this quarterback question. Who is going to be Kirk Cousins or Michael Penix Jr. moving forward? That can only help out the Buccaneers.
And what also helped out the Bucs was Mike Evans. He just had an 8-yard catch for a first down. So halfway through the fourth quarter, 1st and 10, Bucs are driving down the field.
Very positive about the 30-yard mark there.
He's emotional a bit. Yeah. Bucky Irving met at the line of scrimmage, a little bit behind it again. No lanes to run through if you're Bucky Irving.
Yeah, Josh Trezor from Lizard Lick, North Carolina.
There's a sports bar there called The Lick.
Josh Trezor again making the most he can with his makeshift injured offensive line, but he's done pretty good so far here.
Sauce Gardner was injured on the last play, so with him out, maybe Baker tries to find Mike a little bit more. Sauce walks off with a couple trainers under his own power. We'll see if we get an injury update on that. Yeah. Feed Mike. He's hungry. He wants another touchdown. Yeah, Sterling Shepard, he's the leading wide receiver so far, averaging 20 yards a catch, 3 catches for 60. You got Ibuka 5 for 57. Evans and Irving have 4 catches for 33 yards.
Yeah, I don't know if he's shaken up or if they're going to keep him out of the game for the rest of the game here, but if I'm Baker Mayfield, I'm looking at Mike Evans.
Yeah. You got Mike and Ibuka, 2 wide receivers at the bottom of the screen, but the play is blown dead. There's a flag. Hello.
They return the flags. We haven't seen them in some time, but here they come back.
That's going to be a false start. We haven't mentioned him, for bad reasons, but it was Ben Bredesen called for that false start. Hughes 44 makes a suggestion, the triple pony package. Get all 3 running backs out there. It's an idea.
That'd be fun football to watch. Flash Gordon, no interceptions. Yep. No interceptions so far for Baker Mayfield throughout the first 3 weeks of the year.
And he really hasn't had any turnover worthy plays like he did in the first couple weeks. Really careful with the football and still finding ways to be efficient. Ooh, Mike is limping off the field.
Oh.
Baker tries to find him. He's not putting weight on his leg. It looked like a hammy.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking here. Man.
Let's watch the replay. He cut and he just stopped. He stopped his route. Ooh. He's not putting much weight on his left foot.
He's walking the sideline, a little bit of a limp, but man.
Yeah. He's putting weight on it walking on the sideline.
Yeah.
I mean, you're hoping it's a cramp in the Tampa Bay Heat, as Hughes points out, but, obviously the fear is something worse. So Sauce and Mike out on the same drive.
Targeted Ryan Miller just a little bit too outside. Nothing Ryan Miller can do there. 4th and 16. Riley Dixon come out the field. Oh, wait. At this point, I don't remember where they're at. On
37-yard line. So that'd be a 54-yarder?
Yeah, he made a 54-yarder.
The locker room.
That's not good for Mike. He's able to walk off without any assistance, and the trainers there holding it. But
55-yarder is what they're saying. But, Chase McLaughlin, he's out there. He's had 3 made field goals today. Oh, he's back, guys. Come on now. That is right down the middle.
There
Chase McLaughlin's 4 for 4 with 2 field goals made beyond 50 yards. And that's going to make it a 26-13 game. Hold up. Wait a minute. There's a flag.
Uh-oh.
Oh, running into the kicker by Will McDonald declined. So it's good.
Yeah, they decided Jason Light and Todd Bowles not to bring in a tryout kicker this week. And, for Chase, this is all mental when you're a kicker. This is all mental. And by not doing so, they showed confidence in Chase McLaughlin. And he's returned that confidence into points here and making all his field goals so far, I'm glad to see Chase back there doing what he's doing, being very accurate as a kicker.
Yeah, and I'm glad to see it because in my mind, Daniel, I never really was too worried about Chase McLaughlin because I saw him last year. And, you might say kickers year to year, there's some volatility there where they're not good and they're good and they struggle. But Chase McLaughlin, he had 2 missed field goals all of last year. I mean, 30 of 32. He has a leg. He's really accurate. I wasn't too worried about it.
Yeah, that's why I didn't want them to bring anybody else in, but they decided not to. And I think that was the right move and it paid off here. Because also, who are you going to go find out there on the, what free agent is going to be better than possibly Chase? And what he's shown you throughout the past few years. Most of the best kickers always on rosters. And who are you going to go find out there? You can try out a guy and maybe that works out. But if you bring in a guy, that could just really hurt Chase's confidence, It worked out for the Falcons with benching Younghoe Koo and going with Romo, but it doesn't always work.
Now, it's interesting that the Bucs declined the roughing the kicker penalty because it would have been an automatic first down, though. So, they decided to go with the points, but, interesting that they could have kept the ball going.
Cody P says, God, please be a cramp. I know that's the big talk here in the chat. Hoping it's a hammy. That Mike Evans injury is going to be big to look forward to, heading into this Eagles game. You definitely want Mike Evans in that game.
Yeah.
Yeah, Stan Glassman says.
That's the guy you need.
Yeah. Stan Glassman says losing Evans makes this win sting still. Yeah, man, they won on Monday Night Football, but what happened in the process? You lose 3 of your starters, and Luke and Cody and Kalijah. But just that's something to monitor this entire week. How does Mike Evans feel? It's gonna be we come back for the Week 4 matchup against the Eagles because again, you want him in that game. Because if Chris Godwin can't go, well, your main wide receiver is Emeka Buka, and he's a rookie. He's your main target. He's a rookie. You have Sterling Shepard, Ryan Miller, Tez Johnson out there as well, but you're not going to be at your full capabilities. And we haven't seen the tight ends get involved too much also.
Yeah. And Jan pointed out it wasn't roughing, it was running into. Thank you for clarifying that. Yeah, so that wouldn't have been the first down then. And Shaggy points out Mike has a hammy history. Yeah. Every year, you're watching. And unfortunate that it developed right now, but you're hoping it's not serious. All right, so just over 6 minutes left. The Jets get the ball back. 2-score game. Braylon Allen meets a swarm of Bucs defenders on the kickoff. That was good coverage. Josh Hayes, yeah. Anthony Nelson in the mix there. Yeah, so Mike Evans is questionable with a hamstring injury to return.
Very frustrated also. He just threw his helmet. They show the replay of him walking into the locker room. Very upset.
Yeah, it's never good when helmets are thrown, reacting to an injury, because it's usually not good news. Be curious what Todd Bowles has to say after this one. And that 1,000-yard streak, too. You got to think about that a little bit. All right, Mason Taylor gets the first down. Levante in coverage. Jets going no huddle here. You need the defense to make a big play, a big moment. Anybody.
Yeah. Guys, 85. Levante burned again. We can't do anything.
Look at that. That's Yaya Diaby making a sack there.
There we go.
Oh, he's loading up. He's charged up. Sub-0 with his first sack of 2025. You love to see it. Big play by Yaya there. Taking down Tyrod Taylor.
Wait, what's that? The pick or did it hit the ground? I can't really tell.
I looked up and saw Jamel Dean with the ball. Looked like he came away with it. But there was a flag, so you never know.
But if he didn't hit the ground, well, depending on what the penalty is here, that might be a second Jamel Dean interception in this game here.
Oh, so the flag's on the defense. So that negates the Jamel Dean interception. And it was pass interference on Dean. So that's a 15-yard penalty. I want to see the replay. Show the replay. Let's see.
They don't want to show it here. We'll get it seen probably, but there we go.
What? How's that pass interference? I don't agree with that.
You can't call that.
He turned around. Like he stopped. He wasn't even like grabbing Tyler Johnson. He just fell.
No, you can't. No, you can't call it that. That's not PI. That's not pass interference in any way.
Give Jamel Dean his interceptions.
No, I don't agree with that play call. That
not at all. Call. Another flag thrown before the next play. Let's see who this is on.
Bucs D pointing to the offensive line of the Jets.
That is going to be a false start by Olu Fashanu.
If the refs didn't call the PI and Jamel Dean, that's the second interception for him. That's a huge day for him.
Oh, I see in like the little scorebook here that there was no play on that Jamel Dean pick. Oh, okay.
Yeah. They wrap up.
Oh, Levante's down.
Oh. Man, he got back up and he went right back down.
He got a big sack there. Oh, his leg. Oh, no. Oh.
Oh, yeah.
He was helped up and fell right back down. He is down on his back.
Wow. You lose Mike Evans. You lose Levante David now. We don't know the severity of both of these injuries, but never a good thing here.
The Levante one looked worse than the Mike one.
Yeah, yeah. And again, who's behind Levante David? You got Deion Jones, a veteran, and you got Nick Bullock. Sorry, John Bullock. But Nick Jackson's on the practice squad. Maybe, depending on how severe this injury is, you might have to elevate him. But, man, you never want to see that.
This is a really tough to watch.
Stan Glassman says twisted his ankle, knee. And Arizona, OMG. Yeah, not good injuries here. The Buccaneers are going to escape most likely with a victory, but 2 major injuries to Mike Evans and to Levante David. Now, we don't know the severity, but 2 big losses here.
Jeff the Champ, shout out to you. Curse of the Creamsicles. Yeah, Cody P. It was interesting because it looked like it didn't look like it was dirt on his knee. It did look like there was blood there, but
yeah, I didn't know it was blood, but that's I couldn't really tell there, but bad stuff.
Yeah.
Second win stories. We're in trouble. Spencer Alt, GG's. This season is cooked. Good game.
If they lose Mike and they lose Levante for more than a couple of games, I mean, you add on top Tristan Wirfs, Chris Godwin, Luke Gedeke, Cody Mauk. I mean, like these aren't injuries to backup players. These are injuries to half the team captains right now.
Wow.
Yeah, the blood was there before we heard it. Okay.
Okay. Guys 85 said made like one play. Yeah, he wasn't having the best game, of course. He did have a good play there, but he's a captain on the team. We know what Levante David brings, and who's behind him again? Got Deion Jones, got Bullock. You're going to get a step down over on production, and we'll see when we come back from the commercial break here. Is he getting hopped off? Is he getting carted off? Like, what is going on with that injury situation?
And you hope it doesn't turn into, as Cody P points out, the cost of winning. I mean, you win the battle, but you lose the war. Yeah. This is like what happened to the Lions last year. They were absolutely decimated by injuries. All right, so Rod Taylor, Jets are back out after the little break, and they get a big play. That's Tyler Johnson, the former Buccaneers wide receiver. Gets 18 yards. Less than 5 minutes to go.
Had the drop earlier, but a big play there for the New York Jets.
And that, yeah, as comments are pointing out, that was Servassier Dennis who got beat on that play. Where's Levante? Oh, he's back on the field. It only took one play.
Oh, okay. There we go.
All right. Levante's fine.
Wow. Tough guy there. He would continue fight. Also, you're up 13 points. It's about, a little bit over 4:30 left here. Take him out of the game. If there's a big scary injury there, I would take him out of the game. But I know he's probably Justin Baker Mayfield. He wants to be out there on the football field.
Yeah, especially when, if the Jets score a touchdown here, then it's a one-score game. Levante does not want to come out.
No. Rich in the garage says, take LVD off the field. You never know what happens in these games, but if I was Todd Bowles, I don't know if I put him back out there, just protect him. You want him back for next week, definitely.
1st and 10. Little dump off to Breece Hall. Makes a move on Jamel Dean, gets the first down. Just an injury update for everyone. Wide receiver Mike Evans, he's out for the game. He was questionable a little bit earlier with the hamstring. Saw him throw his helmet down.
Yeah, every year, again, it seems like he has some kind of hamstring injury, but it happened last year in week 7, the same exact game that Chris Godwin Jr. dislocated his ankle against the Ravens. And both of those guys, and the next week following that, Kate Otten needed to step up, but Just want to see how severe is this hamstring injury? How long is he going to keep him sidelined?
Right now, the Jets, again, they're moving down the field against Todd Bowles' defense. The latest play was Tyrod Taylor finding Garrett Wilson for 9 yards, just outside of the red zone now. All right, 2nd and 1. Taylor looking for somebody. He's scrambling. Elijah Roberts cannot bring him down. That's a nice gain for Tyrod Taylor.
Yeah, the Jets going to be at, what, the 7, 6, very close there to scoring.
Yeah, they're going to be at the 9. Let's see
9,
here.
okay. 9. About 4 minutes, 3:59 left on the clock.
A couple people pointing out that they're not calling holding on the Jets at all. No, it's very true. They're just picking on the Bucs' backup offensive linemen is what it is. But 1st and goal. Tyrod looked like a completion to Braylon Allen.
Yep, 2nd and goal here.
Yeah, this defense is they're breaking. They're not just bending.
Yeah, they're playing bend and break defense here. But again, can you hold them to? This gonna be four down. You know, they're gonna go all the way in 4th down. They're gonna continue to try to see can they score points, but can you just hold them to a field goal? Can Jamel Dean get an interception again? You know, he was close to getting one earlier. He had the one, of course, the pick 6.
Ooh, ball is up in the air on 2nd and goal. Just outside the reach of Tweezo.
Almost an Antoine Winfield pick there.
Levante David in coverage, Joe, on Breece Hall. All right, 3rd and goal. Huge game-deciding 3rd and goal here. You know, Raymond James Stadium's pumped up right now. Tyrod Taylor probably can't even hear what's going on. He's going to have to try to make something happen. Garrett Wilson in motion to the right. Taylor throws up the middle. Pass breakup, Tyke Smith.
Oh, yeah.
He's made a move to safety this year, and he's looked really good, Daniel. He's looked dynamic.
Last week he had the sack where he blitzed off the edge on the right side, and he just pushed off the running back and just got straight to C.J. Stroud. He's been playing really well. Really good football here. And right there at the pass defense, forcing the Tyke.
Now it is 4th and goal.
Big play here.
In shotgun. Tyrod Taylor gets the ball. He's looking. He's scrambling. Throws the ball. Allen Lazard, and that's a touchdown.
That is. All righty, so we got a ball game here.
Ooh.
Going to be a 1-possession game after this. Wow.
What happened?
Yeah, we were talking about getting Teddy Bridgewater in the game and sitting Baker Mayfield, and the Jets have been able to come back in this game.
Zion McCollum made a heroic effort. He tried to leap for it, but
nope.
You know, Tyrod Taylor, veteran quarterback, he picked apart Todd Bowles' defense, had no issues doing so. Back-to-back drives, they drove down the field, scored touchdowns after it looked like, you know, the defense was making stand after stand. All of a sudden, what's going on here? Pass rush isn't getting home. A lot of soft zone coverage. You don't take your foot off the gas.
No, you don't.
You don't play prevent defense, even if you're up a couple scores, because the Jets can get a couple scores.
Narish said, "Adam, you jinxed it."
Oh man, I don't want to hear it. I'm a traumatized former Packers fan. I saw the Seahawks championship game. That was brutal.
So does he have possession all the way through? He has his feet definitely in.
Yeah, they're reviewing it right now. To me, it looked like a catch.
Yeah.
He maintained it.
Bobbles around a little bit, but Tyrod Taylor believes that is a touchdown. I think they're going to give it to them.
Prevent defense only prevents winning.
Yep, I just read that.
Super chat from Tall Florida Guy. Thank you. I'm calling it now. Bucs lose this game. Man, you would have said that a little bit ago. I'd have been like, what? What happened?
But thank you for the super chat, buddy. So
yeah.
If they get the touchdown, it's a 20, and they make the extra point, of course. It's a 20-26 ball game here. You hope Baker Mayfield can at least get a field goal. You know, can march this team down there and get a field goal. And we've seen the too many offense these last two games, pretty effective.
Yeah, that's a great point.
Let's see what happens here. And it all comes down to, is this going to be a touchdown or non-touchdown? I believe it will be a touchdown. All the Bucs fans saying, no, they don't.
Of course.
I think they might be a little biased down.
Yeah. The call was upheld. It stands. So it was a 4-yard touchdown pass by Tyrod Taylor to Allen Lazard. So right now it's 26-19. We'll see if the extra point is good. What a turn of events, though. Yeah. You talk about drama. You talk about there being no pressure entering the fourth quarter. You know, you're confident in the Bucs' ability to, hang on. And then all of a sudden, the defense, you thought the offense wasn't doing its part. Now it's the defense's turn.
Yeah, Tyrod Taylor has been able to pick this soft zone defense apart. Man, and I don't think the PI on Jamel Dean was an actual PI, so that was a big play too. But it is what it is. It's a 20-26 ball game here now. 3 minutes and 40 seconds left. Can Baker Mayfield have, another great drive to close out this game? This is why football is fun, Adam, man. You never know what's going to happen. We thought this game was going to be over 3-0, and it's not. It's a fun. This is in my opinion, the funnest sport possible. The funnest sport there is out there, because of things like this. Yeah. The game. It's a 6-minute game. You never know what happens.
It's a fun game. It's entertaining for sure, but Bucs fans probably don't feel that way right now. Some calls that really haven't gone Tampa Bay's way all day. I mean, that pass interference call on Jamel Dean to negate his interception. I mean, I didn't agree with that call. And then you could argue what just happened there with Lazard. Was it a catch? Was it not? But, the result, the reality that the Bucs are facing right now is that it's 26-20 with just under 4 minutes left to play. The Bucs offense, they need to control the clock here. They cannot afford to give the ball back to a really hot Jets offense that, has been doing whatever they want. As Tobin Ludwig says, killer mentality ? Right now, we're going to find out.
All gas, no brakes. One final time here. Could Baker Mayfield march this Buccaneers team down the field and score some more points? Again, even if it's just a field goal, that's going to be huge. Bucs fan says, yeah, I don't know. That TD was close, man. Did he have possession? They gave it to him. I think for the most part, Adam, I don't know if you agree, but I think that was a touchdown there.
I think so, but I watched the last replay, and then I was kind of unsure. But
wobbled a little bit, yes.
Yeah.
All right, run to the left by Bucky Irving, gets about a 3-yard gain.
Yep, you are correct. It's going to be 2nd and 7.
The Jets start using their timeouts here. Now they're down to 2 timeouts, stops the time at 3:36.
If they were to get a 3-and-out here, then the clock would still stop with the 2-minute warning.
Yeah. The Eagles have taken the lead now against the Rams.
Yeah, a little game break. 41 seconds left. They did take a 27-26 lead. So you saw them take a 27-26 lead. The last thing you want to do is see this happen in this one. Oh boy, the drama.
Yeah, we got
drama's continued.
There can't be a Bucs game without drama here. 2nd and 7. You got Kate on in motion.
Baker Mayfield play action, rolling to the right. Doesn't see anyone he likes, but he's going to scramble.
There we go.
Oh my goodness, Baker with the wheels? Come on, man. That was a huge run.
Kate on as well. Wow.
Yeah. No, Baker dashing if he can. 33-yard scramble. by number 6. Man.
Wow.
Nobody talks about him as a mobile quarterback, but he's fired up given that first down signal.
He's kind of like a dual threat quarterback now. He can do it with his arm or his legs. And it's very dangerous.
And the one thing about Baker Mayfield that everybody should know, he's heroic and he's clutch.
Yep.
When it counts.
When the pressure's on him, that does not faze him.
No, not at all.
Pressure makes diamonds or burst pipes. But for Baker Mayfield, man, he has ice in his veins. He stays just confident, just continues to fight. Huge play with his legs there. 1st and 10 at the 29 for the Buccaneers. You're in field goal range already.
Yep.
Bleed out the clock a little bit more, though.
Yeah, run the football. Make the Jets burn those timeouts. Get to the 2-minute warning. Geist 85, thank you for the $2 super chat here. Is it possible to get a convincing win, question mark? It looked that way. It really did. It appeared that way. It was 26, like 13. You're like, oh, the Bucs will get a 2-score win. It's going to be a great day in Tampa Bay. All of a sudden, you're kind of biting your nails here at the end.
Time keeps going down. You got about 2:40 on the play clock. Just got 1 timeout. 2nd and 7 for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. K-Dot in motion again.
Yep. Going back. Trying to get the run game going. Still nothing. It's going to be a 2-yard pickup up the middle. Jets call their last timeout with 2 minutes, 28 seconds left in the game. The Bucs will be faced with a 3rd and 5, the biggest third down of the game. Yeah. Daniel, it's a passing situation here. Who do you go to? Mr. Abuka?
Sterling Shepard? You can bleed out the clock to 2 minutes left, but I think keep the chains moving. Mike Evans, he's out. You got Emeka Egbuka, but they might know you're going to go to Emeka Egbuka. I want to see K-Don. He had a beautiful block there to set up that run by Baker Mayfield. Let's see if K-Don can get the football here. That's who I'll go to. What about you, Adam? Who are you throwing the ball to for Baker Mayfield?
If I'm throwing it, I like the idea to K-Dot, but then you also have the aspect of they could run it, get it down to the 2-minute, and then just take the field goal. Which I think that's a conservative thing to do. So you're leaning that way.
You know what? I would, I know it's not aggressive, but I would run it here, go to 2 minutes, kick it. It makes a 9-point ball game. Jets are out of timeouts. Yeah. I think that's what I would do, but I think they might throw it here. Oh, timeout.
The play? Yeah.
Buccaneers, yeah. Because again, if you run, you bleed it down to 2 minutes. You kick the field goal, 29-20. If you pass it, there's a possibility that could be picked off. Yeah. So maybe you gotta manage your risk reward here, but maybe you run it, you rely on your defense. I don't think they're gonna get the ball at the Jets 2 times back to back and find a way to score 9 points, before this game ends. But it's really interesting stuff here. I'd run it.
Dude, guys, 85 said the Browns won. How did the Browns win?
The Browns. I got to watch the highlights for that game. I got to see what happened.
Packers are up 10-0, man. All right, here we go. 3rd and 5. Baker and shotgun. Hands the ball off. Do they get it? They do not. They are stuffed. It's going to be 4th and short. Bucky Irving did not get the first down. But the clock will run. It will bleed to the 2-minute warning here.
That is a positive, yep.
Yeah. If Chase Money McLaughlin, makes his 5th field goal of the game, then it's a 9-point game.
And he would have fully bounced back from his kicking woes, He struggled, but been very accurate so far in this game. I don't want to jinx it. Just pointing out, he's been a bit accurate. Don't want to jinx it. Cecil says just go for it. If I'm the
Bucs, you rely on Chase McLaughlin here for this field goal. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You don't go for it, but
no, that's too risky. Yeah, you make it, you're up 9 points. Yep, Ashley says kick, no question. I agree.
Chase, get your money, man.
Get your money, man.
Have to trust Chase. You go for the field goal. But then there's the risk it, no biscuit argument. I know Bruce Arians is there today, but
building.
calm down a little bit.
If you let him call this next play, we know what he's doing. He's going to go for it here.
He's up there in the booth, relaying to Todd Bowles.
Yeah.
Eagles win with a blocked field goal.
Oh. Okay. So 2-3. Oh, well, I don't want to jinx it here, but possibly 2 3-0 teams facing each other next week. It's going to be a big matchup, a measuring test, like you said earlier, Adam, between the Eagles and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That should be really fun football.
Yes, it will be.
Stan Glassman, it would have been nice to get that first down. Yep. Could have ran out the clock after that.
Chris, we shouldn't be in this position. We shouldn't, But Bucs fans, you're dealing with it right now. Close game, again, down to the wire.
Guy85 says, ban the tush push. What are your thoughts on that? I think the Buccaneers have been pretty good at beating the tush push with Vita Vea. And the idea was Desmond Watson possibly also, helping out. But, of course, he couldn't get his weight down. But should they ban
They did work him out a couple days ago.
Yeah.
With the Eagles upcoming. I mean, from a Bucs perspective, you're fine with the tush push. I mean, they've had no problem stopping it as long as you have Vita Vea. So.
Yeah, I'm fine with the play.
Yeah.
Aaron,
you got to learn how to stop everything in the NFL is my argument. I mean, it's you know what's coming. You see them all gobbled together. I mean, you got to have the personnel out there. But that's a next week problem. We got a problem this week that we got to look at here. And 4th and 1, the offense is on the field. Are they going to try to get New York offsides and then call the timeout?
I think that's what they do. If they go for it, that's real risky by Todd Bowles.
Yeah.
All right, let's see.
Baker lined up under center. 6, 5. Clock is ticking. Tez in motion. They're not snapping it.
No.
That's a smart thing to do. I appreciate them trying.
Mm-hmm. Didn't work though. All right, but here comes Chase. You go 5 for 5 here.
And it looks like the Bucs did take the delay of game penalty instead of calling the timeout. Save a timeout just in case.
Yeah.
Chase has had no problem connecting. Here we go, man.
Big field goal.
Woo. 43-yard attempt. Chase Money McLaughlin.
See the wind blowing there.
Oh, it is blocked.
Oh,
Chase McLaughlin's field goal is blocked. They're running it back.
No. Whoa. That's going all the way back to the house. Wow.
That is all the way back to the house. Aaron Glenn is dancing on the sidelines. What just happened? That's a touchdown.
Wow.
It is 26-26, Daniel. What just happened?
Wow. I got to see the replay on that play. What just happened there? Holy cow.
I'm shocked. I don't know what to say here.
Yeah. Wow.
He jumped over the center.
Yep. Wow.
And he just took it all the way back.
Yeah, that's Will McDonald, the edge rusher. Wow, man. Oof. Adam, we were talking maybe an hour ago about putting Teddy Bridgewater in the game and, the Buccaneers closing out this game and going 3-0. And now they're going to be down the scoreboard here. It's going to be 27-26. And the drama every single game. It's intense. Wow, what a game, man.
It's going to come down to Baker again.
Yeah.
I mean, they did want to put it in his hands on 4th down there. They wanted to let Chase McLaughlin, make the field goal. But now all of a sudden they're going to be trusted with Baker Mayfield to save them after what has unfolded here. The Jets have scored 21 unanswered points.
Cody P says, we still got Baker. So let's see. Can he march? You just got to score a field goal. You got to get down there and get a field goal range. But it's not easy to do that also.
Absolute chaos right now. There's so many comments. Try to get to some here.
Tim Burton there.
Should have went for it. Hate being right.
Man.
3 blocked field goals, 3 games in 10 minutes, referring to all the action. The Browns blocked the Packers, and then the Eagles blocked the Rams. Now the Jets they just blocked the Bucs there.
Dancing. Man.
People are saying should have gone for it.
It was a smart move to kick it, in my opinion, because then you go up by 9 points, and then it's a 2-possession game, just less than 2 minutes left. But you get things like that. You can get a block kick, and now the Jets have found their way on top, 27-26. Kickoff. Sean Tucker with a nice return here.
Yeah, this is interesting. I'm not too sure about this, but I thought like you couldn't jump over the center directly. Like he hurdled over him. A lot of people are saying that isn't allowed, but it just happened.
That's the old Troy Polamalu move, jumping over.
Yeah,
getting the block. Angle, yeah.
It was a right call, though. I mean, you're not expecting a blocked field goal return for a touchdown. How often do you see that, though? All right, the special teams, man.
Here. Baker in this offense, and Josh Brizard calling the plays. He's going to take a deep pass down the field. Ooh.
Tez Johnson, man, he would have had it, too.
Just a little bit too far for his reach, of course.
Oh, okay. You can't touch the center. So he didn't touch him. He just cleared him.
Yeah, clean jump over.
Yeah. Tez was wide open, though. It's like a throwback to like Trey Palmer being wide open down the field. Just can't connect. That deep ball, man.
Mm. Or the Jameis Winston and Deshaun Jackson days when Jameis could have hit him deep.
Yeah.
The field.
All right, 2nd and 10. Minute and 36 left. Bucs still have 2 timeouts. Baker's looking deep. He found Emeka Egbuka.
There we go.
That's a catch for a first down, a big one. It's going to be a 28-yard gain to the New York Jets' 38-yard line.
And now they're in field goal range. There we go. Huge play by the rookie coming up clutch. There's no Mike Evans out there, but that's your wide receiver 1 now, Emeka Egbuka.
What does Chase McLaughlin have to think, though? Like, if it came down to him again, I mean, Baker, he wants to put the ball in the end zone, not leave any doubt.
Yeah. You know what?
Emeka, that's a clutch catch, though. Up to 85 receiving yards in this one.
Big game for the rookie. Can he cap off his deal for a touchdown, though? Let's see.
Baker looks his way again. Are they going to rule that a catch?
Whoa! Did he keep his feet in bounds?
Oh, they're saying incomplete. Bro.
What a concentration catch. It bounces, bobbles. He grabs it again.
He has all the concentration. The ball is tipped. Still looking at it.
Wow. His feet.
That's close.
Show the replay again. Wow.
Todd Bowles, he doesn't know what to think.
Yeah, it's inside 2 minutes, right? So you can't challenge here.
No, he can't. And it's not going to a booth review, which it at least should have, right?
Yeah. Oh, wait, are they going to? Okay. Oh, no, timeout Tampa. Okay.
Todd has to be pissed.
Wow.
There's a super chat from Tall Florida guy. Thank you. They deserve to lose this game. That wasn't the right call. Referring to the 4th down situation where they could have went for it on 4th and 1, decided to rely on Chase McLaughlin, pick up 1 yard, and the game is over.
Oh, it's so close with his feet. They're showing the replay here. Thank you for the super chat. It's so close with his feet. They didn't challenge it, though. You can't. It goes to the...
Todd Bowles can't. Yeah, it goes to the replay booth, but they challenge everything. Why are you not challenging that call? Because that's close enough to where, the refs, they decide the game's already, apparently.
All right, let's see. So he gets his... Oh, that's a quick replay there. He didn't get slowed down, but... He drags his feet.
I thought he had the 2nd foot down, like just a little bit before his leg went down. And Mecca's throwing his hands up.
Yeah, like he's wondering, why didn't we challenge this? What's going on? Of course, the booth.
Todd Bowles can't believe it. Doesn't look like they're challenging the play. He has some words to say, too.
Yeah.
I'm shocked.
All right, 2nd 10. K-Dot in motion.
All right, Baker going to Sterling Shepard. Big gain. Big gain inside the 20-yard line.
The veteran coming up clutch there. There we go.
Looks like there is an injury on the Jets side. But for the Bucs, a 20-yard catch. Sterling Shepard, he's been good for 20-yard pops today.
That makes up for the big, incompletion to Mekabuka, which, man, was that a catch or was that not a catch? But no matter what, the Buccaneers get the first down with Sterling Shepard making that catch there.
I do agree with the comments here. Eat some clock. You still have a timeout. There's still a minute and a half left. You don't want to give the Jets the ball with too much time.
They're taking their time here, just let the clock drain out.
Let's see what Baker and the offense can do. They are running the football. Nothing there, though.
All right, this might come down to a Chase kick, and he's been accurate. He had the block, but that, it wasn't his fault. Will McDonald jumped over and just had a beautiful hurdle.
Yeah. I mean, you want to have the ball in Baker Mayfield's hands, a $100 million man who's shown his clutch savvy the past couple of weeks. The Jets are 1 win and 144 losses when trailing by 17-plus points to start the fourth quarter.
What a stat.
You don't want to be on the wrong side of history here.
You don't want to be 144-1.
Yeah.
Wow.
Clock is running. 6 seconds left. Baker takes a knee, so it is going to come down to Chase McLaughlin. The Jets don't have timeouts to ice a kicker. So it's going to be up to Chase.
All right.
Can he make this a 29-27 win? What's going to happen?
A lot of pressure on Chase. He's had the issues week number 1, week number 2. It's been really good today besides the block. And again, that's not on him. But did that block get to him? Did it get him back in that, that mental space is a bit negative for him? Let's see.
After what's unfolded in the first 2 games of the season for Chase McLaughlin, missing a field goal in each game, now getting his last field goal attempt blocked. I mean, this is a huge kick for him. If he makes it, everybody in Tampa Bay loves him. If he misses it, man.
Dan in Arizona with the funny comment here, he says, I can't watch. Let's see here.
We're going to see 36-yarder right down the middle.
36 yards.
Kick is up. It is good. Right down the middle.
There we go.
As time expires, your Tampa Bay Bucs are 3-0. They pull off the win. Last second, dramatic fashion again, 29-27. Daniel, what are your thoughts, man?
I think Chase McLaughlin, his job is safe here in Tampa. And the Buccaneers, for the first time now since 2005, they go 3-0. They get the win. In the home opener, the white creamsicle. They break the creamsicle curse. They break the backup quarterback curse going up against Tyrod Taylor, man. What a dramatic game. We thought this was going to be an easy game for them. We're talking about Teddy Bridgewater, a backup quarterback coming in. That wasn't the case. It was a close game there, but Chase was able to close it out. Adam, how do you feel, man?
Man, emotions were riding high at the beginning. With all the flags called, they're like, oh boy, what is the Bucs offense going to be able to do? And then you saw them put together a few drives. Jamel Dean had that pick 6. All of a sudden, things are looking good. And then the Jets offense under Tyrod Taylor, the veteran quarterback, he made things really, really interesting. That blocked field goal, you started to see it coming. You're like, oh no, in the creamsicle uniforms, are they going to still have that bad luck? But thanks to the leg of Chase McLaughlin there and some clutch play again by the offense, by Mekabuka, Sterling Shepard there on that last drive, you saw them pull it off. So for Bucs fans, you're going to have your blood pressure raised throughout the season. You're going to be nervous. You're going to be chewing on your fingernails in really dramatic fashion.
What a game here. And thank you guys all for having the conversations with us in the chat. You guys have been amazing. Q's44, everybody, Stan Glassman, all you guys here in the chat. And we got more coverage, right? Adam, we got the post-game show.
Yes, we do. So be sure to tune into the Bucs versus Jets post-game podcast. Scott Reynolds, Matt Matera, live from Raymond James Stadium. You're going to want to listen to what they have to say after such a dramatic game. They're going to talk to head coach Todd Bowles, Baker Mayfield, and be in the locker room. So be sure to stay tuned into that. And then also our pewterreport.com, on our website, we're going to have our most impressive, most disappointing, and a game recap. If you want to know all the craziness that happened, Bailey Adams has you there. And then we'll also have more content on our YouTube, Instagram, and X accounts at Pewter Report. So this has been a really fun time with all the Pewter people in the chat. For Daniel Morales, I am Adam Slavan, wishing you a happy Sunday and a happy, very happy Victory Monday. Out.